Hello, Durud and Shalom. Guys, the threat level against President Trump is escalating. This is getting really serious. Hi, Monkey.
Hello, Durut, Shalom, Nola.
Hola, hola. Hello, Durud, Shalom, and hola. And Shir Hamid, thank you so much for becoming a member on our channel. Thank you so much right at the beginning. I wanted to thank you. But hey, Monkey, Israel just shared intelligence with the US regarding the Islamic Republic plot to assassinate Trump. Like, this is not just on. We have already seen a lot of chanting and people coming out and saying a lot of things on the ground during the funeral. But now this is at a different level. This is a serious plot from the regime. This is not just virtue signaling. Israel just revealed to United States regarding a detailed plan to assassinate President Trump. This is getting serious.
So we're not talking about a lone wolf here that is maybe looking at a bounty. This is a state-sanctioned and organized
Yes.
thing, right?
Yes, yes, and I really want people to take this seriously. This is a threat to President Trump, a serious threat. Remember, guys, Americans in the chat, you almost lost your president to an amateur. We now have not just people, average Durka people on the ground saying like, oh, we're going to do this or do that. We have a state with oil and gas money in the billions making a plan to take out your president. And YouTube, please understand that we're just covering the news. We're against this. This is terrorism. We condemn this. This is a threat that we want the safety of President Trump. We're basically covering this because we think more people need to be aware of this threat. And this is huge. Somebody saying we know Armin. Well, should I not talk about it then? If you know, like, you guys want us not to talk about it. Some people don't know. Like, I know you know, but I should talk about it because some other people, we need to discuss this. Sherry, thank you so much for the super chat saying payday for me, hence payday for you. Well, thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate this. Let's cover this actually. Let me see if this is a good summary of all of this. And then we go to talking about yeah, Monkey, do you want to say something?
I would make the distinction between threats and plots. Like, a threat is constant.
Yes.
Like, I would understand saying, yeah, we know they made the threat, but there's a difference between a threat being made and state actions by the IRGC being, I would say, like, spied on, like discovered. There is a difference there.
Yes. True, and yeah, that's. Well, I mean, it's an escalated level of a threat when there's a plot behind it, a state-sponsored plot. I'll meet with a super chat saying in Mashhad tonight they made a huge Lego version of President Trump and put a rope around it from the crane. Yeah, and they also set it on fire. This ended up being real. It was so bizarre that we thought it's. Thank you, Amit, for the super chat. This was so bizarre that we thought it was maybe AI. But now it's confirmed this was real. Look at this. This is a Lego version of President Trump being set on fire just last night. Here.
Oh my God, the music. Thank you.
مرگ بر اسرائیل، مرگ بر بی‌وطن، مرگ بر بی‌وطن، مرگ بر پهلوی.
So they said death to United States, death to Israel, death to the basically people without a nation, death to Pahlavi. So Pahlavi is getting it.
Haydar, Haydar, همه Haydar, Haydar, زن و من Haydar, Haydar. آی مردم، این شعله‌ای که می‌بینید شعله حسدشه. بگو این چند روز دید آقای ما رو هر جایی میبرن.
So Monkey, if a few years ago they told you that there would be some people who would make a Lego version of President Trump and set it on fire. What would you say to them? Like,
I mean, depends how far back you go. Things have been crazy for a couple of years. The Biden years were kind of wild, and yeah, you have to go a little farther back for me to be surprised by this kind of thing. I think the
Okay.
use of Lego is because Lego were the videos that they got more traction on. So they're like,
Yes.
oh, people like the Legos. Let's use the Legos. I think that might be why they're going with Legos.
Yeah,
It's,
Texas was asking what the f is their obsession with Legos. There's an entire chapter in the Quran, the Lego chapter. Lego is mentioned in the Quran. We have hadiths, we have Quranic chapters on Lego. It's a big deal in Islam. You guys know that?
I haven't heard this before, but I'm not
No?
surprised.
It was foretold. Here, let me see. Let's go to the news though.
Well, breaking right now, President Trump reportedly a target of a new Iranian assassination plot. These warnings come after a week of escalating strikes and Iranian regime supporters vowing to kill the president in revenge for their slain supreme leader. News Nation Washington correspondent Corey Smith is live at the White House for us with the very latest. I mean, Corey, this is a massive update. What more do we know about this plot?
Well, good morning, Marky. This new reporting comes from the Wall Street Journal. It says Israeli intelligence uncovered what it called a fresh Iranian plot to assassinate the president. Now, look, those types of threats are nothing new, as Iran has openly vowed to retaliate against Trump for assassinating Iran's top general, Qasem Soleimani, even going back to 2020. The president seemingly made reference to this latest threat Wednesday at the NATO summit in Turkey. Take a listen.
No, I'm number one on the kill list for Iran. I'm number one on the list for killing. Well, I have a threat all the time. I'm number one on their list.
Both the Israeli embassy in Washington and Iran's mission to the UN declined to comment on the new claims, but President Trump spoke with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Thursday. According to Netanyahu, the two men agreed to continue working together in the region, but high-ranking Israeli military officials insist the war is not over. Speaking at a pilot's graduation ceremony this week, Lieutenant General Ayil Zamir said, quote, "On the drawing board are new plans. Major operations are still expected to lie ahead of us. Be prepared." Now, despite the threats, there remains hope for additional ceasefire and peace talks. For the last few days, mediators from Pakistan, Oman, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, all of them have been working the phones, trying to keep this fragile peace process afloat and asking both sides to return to the negotiating table. Now, next week, Congress is back in session here in Washington, and we could see further attempts to rein in President Trump with another attempt to pass a War Powers Act. We spoke to a Democrat and a Republican about the current state of the conflict.
We're looking at a war that President Trump effectively started. I think the difficulty for him is explaining to the American people why he has not gone to Congress with a credible appeal that would garner support from legislators.
You have to hold these bad actors accountable, and I think the president and the vice president are doing the right thing.
Now, ahead of lawmakers' return, has there already been some talk from Senate Democrats, particularly Virginia's Tim Kaine, about taking Donald Trump to court if he restarts the war. The White House claims the previously passed War Powers Act resolutions are, quote, non-binding. Marky?
Corey Smith live.
So what do you think about all of this?
I expected this. Like a reliable analysis indicates that Iranian agencies and proxies have done at least 27 plots since 2011, with at least 17 disrupted by U.S. authorities in the homeland in roughly 5 years to mid-2027. So 17 plots up to the mid-2025. So this is recent plots. And these are FBI cases. And a major one was in 2024 by Asif Merchant and Farhad Shakiri, an IRGC-directed murder plot for hire task, an operative and merchant and a Pakistani national in the U.S. They've been trying to do this for a long time, and they have tried many times.
By the way, this is to the people who keep saying like, "Oh, Israel, what does Israel do for us?" Israel just discovered this plot and shared this information with the Americans. This is one of a million reasons why Israel is so helpful to the United States. It's Israel that uncovered this plot.
No matter
To
how many satellites you have, it's not the same as having people on the ground.
exactly, exactly. The people, Israel is there. Israel is there. Israel is inside the Islamic Republic. Israel, many people who work for the Islamic Republic are Mossad agents at the highest levels. So the first people who would find out that this plot is happening are the Israelis, and they share it immediately. They share it with the Americans. So the Israelis are protecting your president.
I mean, there was a plot against John Bolton. There was a plot against Michael Pompeo. These plots have been going on for a while, and I do not doubt that some of the underground resources that they have played us into us being able to capture these people and stop these plots.
Exactly. You know, when President Trump was talking about this yesterday in his plane, he was probably talking about this. And also notice how they switched from the Qatari plane to their own plane, because the Qatari plane is not good with security. It's like really bad with security. They went back to Air Force One. So watch this.
Probably on a dangerous flight because of the sleazebags that we have to deal with.
Do you think that Iran was possibly thinking of trying
Well, I
to...
mean, if they asked you to close your windows, probably they feel that way. They didn't ask me to close mine, but if they did, I would have done it. You know, these are sick people, so I could see something like that. I didn't know they did that, but I could see something.
Were you aware of any credible threat by Iran against Air Force
Well, I have
One?
a threat all the time. I'm number one on their list before you. But if I go, you go, right?
But was there a
So
specific threat today?
perhaps someday you want to change professions. What do you have, Daniel?
I love that. I had to play that again.
People like to think and talk about him being bought by, they gave him a plane. The only plan he made for that plane is putting it in a museum, and it's in a state museum. Like, he was never going to keep it for himself, use it for himself. He said, "Oh, look, they gave us a gift. I'm not going to I'm not going to give it back. I'm going to take that because I know it's expensive, but I'm just going to make it a really nice museum piece." And that was his plan for it the whole time. So people that are, "Oh my God, he took the bribe." No, he just made sure they didn't get that money back. You spent this money, I'll take it, and I'm going to turn it into more money for me. I'm going to make a museum. The money's going to go to the people because it's going to be like a state museum or federal museum. Like that was always the plan, and he's been saying it since the first happened.
I still don't like accepting any gifts from the Qataris, to be honest. But yeah, I don't want to. But
I think it
like
removes a personal, like he's not getting personal gain, which was the accusation.
I still don't think the Qataris gifts, like, I think it's just when the Qataris give you a gift, they have a good reason for it, and I don't like it. But anyways, let's go.
I don't like it either. I think it's, yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, I'm just explaining it, but I understand your sentiment, and I feel the same.
Okay. So let's watch this video regarding switching the plane because of the security.
It seems that someone, of course, is talking to the New York Times, so it's good for the Times. But if Secret Service is leaking, or
how'd they get the flag out there?
Is leaking.
Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, I don't know. Let me go back.
It seems that someone, of course, is talking to the New York Times, so it's good for the Times. But if Secret Service is leaking, or someone in his military detail is leaking, for whatever reason, maybe it's because they're concerned about the president's safety, is that a concern?
It's a huge concern, Laura, but here again, the reason for all this speculation is because we have yet to hear directly from either the director of the Secret Service or the Secretary of the Air Force, or both. I have no reason to doubt that plane, the Qatari plane that left to take the president overseas, was perfectly safe to fly. But to echo what the general said, it is nowhere near as secure as building a plane from scratch. And I find it hard to believe that the new plane had as robust a safety and security platform as the old plane. You know, given the threat level against President Trump, not just from the Iranians, but every day, day in and day out, it grows exponentially. Why would you compromise any safety to any level? Take the old plane. Bad call taking this new one.
It's
There we go. There we go. You know, Monkey, I think people are still, even with all of our warnings, I think people are underestimating how much President Trump is in danger. Like I seriously think that something might happen.
Look, I understand that people are saying, look, this plane, they stripped it down, they looked it all over. I still don't trust it. I still don't trust the plane. I still don't. I made it, wrote it, written on it once, and then switched out. Like, but look, sometimes there's like a misdirect. Like, oh my God, he's using it. Okay, let's let him use it once, just to like get him used to it, or like we didn't even expect him to be on it, right? So he there's two planes. One is a decoy. You don't know which one he's in. When he lands, you find out, oh, he was in ours. Okay, and then you don't use it again. But because this is just me brainstorming, right? I'm not saying this is what happened, but because you used it once, that furthers the plot. Okay, that plan we had, let's go forward with it because it seems he's going to be using it, and that leads to actions, calls, and things happening on the ground that can be spied on. You understand what I'm saying? Like it could be like a pump fake. This is what we call a pump fake in basketball. You pretend you're going to go with one thing, and then you switch to another. But everybody put their attention over there and played their action over there. I wouldn't use it. I think it's a bad idea to use it, but it could have been a misdirect. That's like me trying to steelman the situation. I don't like you said before. I'm against even accepting it, but if I'm going to steelman it, that's what I'd say.
Okay.
I also think it's cool that they have a flag hold so they could put the flag up when the plane lands. I think that's nice. Huh?
So here's the thing. What do you think Jew haters like Nick Fuentes are going to say about this? Because right now we can see that Israel is doing what they need to do to share with their ally threats against President Trump. Okay, and anybody anybody sane would appreciate that. Any American, even if you're against President Trump, you would appreciate that, right? But then we have Nick Fuentes here, obviously saying that the Jews are trying to get President Trump to attack the Islamic Republic. So let's
okay. So you want me to predict what he's going to say?
Yeah,
I think I can. Okay.
Right.
This is going to be a shocker. Okay, chat. This is going to be shocking. I think he's going to blame the Jews.
Yes. Okay.
No way. Yeah, no, that's what I think.
No, I think Texas also got it right. He's gonna say Israel is trying to push Trump back into a war. That's what he's gonna say. Let's see if he says it.
Now, exclusive in the Wall Street Journal, they say that Israel briefed the Trump administration on a new Iranian plot to kill Trump. Well, that's really convenient timing, isn't it? So there was another Iranian plot to kill Trump during the presidential election. Only Israel knew about it. And they told Trump, and that sabotaged the peace process the first time. And now that the Trump administration is working to make this peace deal with Iran and force Israel to be a party to it, Israel once again has received their own intelligence that Iran's trying to kill Trump again. That's crazy. It seems like the Iranians only want to kill Trump when they're about to make peace with him, which is the thing that Israel wants to happen the least. So convenient how that works out. And Israel's the only one that gets the intelligence. Iran only wants to kill Trump right before they make a deal.
Oh my God, what an idiot.
That's a lie, because they weren't in the middle of a peace process. They were in the middle of strikes. They were in the middle of saying, look, I can't trust these people. They just shot some sufficient. Like the whole base of the argument is based on we were so close to a peace deal. And the fact of the matter that at the time of this plot being like I'm guessing it's just been developed and found like within the week, right? Like this week, if we're looking at the last 2, 3, 4 days, it's been nothing but fiery MOU ceasefire, right? We've been striking them right now for 3 days. This is ridiculous thing to say today. If you know that the peace was just falling apart, we weren't about to broker a peace deal. This whole argument is prefaced on a lie. You have to accept that lie to accept this argument, which is why I think this argument is retarded.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Americans are trying to, work on a deal that is impossible to get to, but they are trying to work on it. And he, to be fair, right? And he thinks that Israel is trying to just mess that all up. But the actual reason why the Islamic Republic is doing this plot right now is not because of the Americans are trying to push for a deal. It's because the Islamic Republic, I mean, this is what he's saying is based on somebody who doesn't understand or pretends not to understand. I don't want to, get
Gotcha.
too much into that. Yeah. But the internal politics of the Islamic Republic, right? Anybody who follows the internal politics of the Islamic Republic understands that the reason why they need this assassination plot is because they're dealing with a crisis of identity, a crisis of legitimacy. Their own followers, they're losing their own followers. They need to do something to show that at least they're trying to get revenge for the blood of the supreme leader. That's why this is happening. Also, the point that he made, like, why, like, so this is such a coincidence. Why is it only Israelis who figured this out? Well, because they are there. They're sitting in the office that these plans are made. That's why the Israelis find this. Look at this. He's like, oh wow, what a coincidence. Only Israelis figured this out. Yeah, because they have the best intelligence in the Middle East.
Make this peace deal with Iran and force Israel to be a party to it. Israel once again has received their own intelligence that Iran's trying to kill Trump again. That's crazy. It seems like the Iranians only want to kill Trump when they're about to make peace with him, which is the thing that Israel wants to happen the least. So convenient how that works out. And Israel's the only one that gets the intelligence.
Yeah, Israel is the only one there. And also, the Islamic Republic had plots before. When there was, before even Operation Epic Fury, before the 40-day war to assassinate him, it was on the website of Ali Khamenei. They had AI videos regarding assassination plots against President
Look
Trump.
at his face. Look at his face.
Hold on. Hold on. We have so many videos from inside Iran of the pro-regime people with the banners, with the rewards for assassinating President Trump. Like, that's all over the place. Like, I know he must know this, but like, how big of an idiot do you have to be to fall for this? It only takes like 5 seconds of research to know that there was assassination plots against President Trump by the Islamic Republic before Operation Epic Fury, before any of these MOU and these negotiations, and also that constantly throughout this war, from the beginning, there were people in right after the assassination of Ali Khamenei, there was constant pressure from within the Islamic Republic that we need to assassinate President Trump as revenge. It was always there. It was always present. And how dumb do you have to be to fall for this, to think this is, it's a coincidence. Nobody else figures this out other than Israel? Yeah. Who has the best intelligence? Who has the best? It's not just Mossad. It's also Amman, which is the intelligence unit of the IDF. Israel has 3 different intelligence agencies: Mossad, which is the foreign intelligence; then Shabbat, which is the internal intelligence; and Amman, which is the IDF intelligence. So it's not just Mossad. Amman is also very crazy good, and yet they have the best intelligence probably in the world, especially when it comes to the Middle East. But go on, Monkey.
He's implying that they're lying, that there is no plot, that it's all a lie, that they're making it up. That's the implication. If you look at his face, if you look at his cadence, what he's trying to imply that it's a lie, that they keep lying about these plots, that's what he's implying, that it's a lie. He's making 2 implications here. Either Israel did it themselves and it's a false flag operation and they're the ones that are helping along the plot, or they are lying. He leaves it open to interpretation, but what he is trying to say is this is a manipulation, not true. So there's two ways that it might not be. What he's trying to implicate and say with his body language, with the way he's talking. If you roll it back a little bit, you'll notice he's trying to oh, what a coincidence. What's that trying to say? It's either trying to say they're lying or they did it themselves, and it's a lie. Either way, it would be a lie. But if it is a lie, you have to make two deductions. Either it's a lie because it's not from Iran, it's from Israel, or it's a lie because they're just making it up. So his implication is that it's a lie. It's like, oh, how stupid you have to be. He's not stupid. He knows he's lying. The people who believe him are stupid, right? Because they're not going to more sources, going to the opposite view to understand this, right? They don't know that the death of the leader and the burial of the Tupperware container is a very, is something in their culture that has to be avenged. Most people don't know that in America. Like when there was an attempt on Reagan, there wasn't oh, we have to get revenge. And when there was an attempt on Trump, we didn't do that. We're not like that. So they're thinking, no, this isn't. Not everybody's like that, right? So they don't have that mentality. They don't have that knowledge. So they're just going off his implication that it's just a conspiracy, a lie, or a plot by them, a false flag.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Okay, let's listen to the rest.
Iran only wants to kill Trump right before they make a deal, and Israel's the only country that knows about it. And coincidentally, the last thing they want is a deal. That's crazy how the way that works out. I guess it's just so lucky. It's like Hashem is looking out for them all the time. But we'll get into that as well.
It's not Hashem. It's Israel's intelligence, economic, technological, and military superiority. It's the Israelis themselves. Have you not seen? Is I think Israel's God, you Jewish God.
Want is a deal. That's crazy how the way that works out. I guess it's just so lucky. It's like Hashem is looking out for them all the time. But we'll get into that as well. I do worry because you almost wonder, are the Israelis going to take out Trump? Blame Iran? Vice president steps up. We have to go to war. That might be a little far-fetched, but it's...
Wait, what did he say?
Oh, I do worry because you almost wonder, are the Israelis going to take out Trump? Blame Iran? Vice president steps up. We have to go to war.
I told you.
That might be a little far-fetched, but it's a little...
But I just put the idea out there anyway.
Freaky when they start talking about things like that.
Yeah, see,
I knew it. I knew this was where he was going. I knew it.
He puts out the conspiracy theory out there, but he also knows that he's so baseless. He's smart enough to not to want to take, because he knows it's baseless. So he puts it out there, he plants it in your mind, but he also doesn't want to take the responsibility because he's not at Candace Owen level conspiracy theory, right? He doesn't want to be known as low IQ anti-Semitism, right? He doesn't want to put out conspiracy theories out there that you think that doesn't have some evidence backing it, right? So when he comes to conspiracy theories with zero backing, he puts it out there, but then he also takes it back. But he knows that his audience is going to take that and run with it anyways.
Absolutely. I even start a comment here by Texas Truth. Do they really want a deal, Nick? Is that why they sent out all those attacks on the shipping containers? It's because they want a deal so bad. I mean, it's based on a faulty logic. It's an implication that's just meant to tarnish Jewish people. It comes from his personal bias, his personal hatred. It has nothing to do with defending America, nothing to do with defending the president, nothing to do with actual isolating. Like if you want to isolate America, you want to make Israel stronger, have the Abraham Accords working so that they have their own defense pact and we don't have to be so close. To do that, we have to take care of IRGC, which is what's blocking that. If you're thinking long term, let us not be, so entangled in these things. Well, the best thing you could do is have a free Iran, because a free Iran would grant you a safety net in that area that allows you to not be so involved. You could leave it up to a Cyrus Accord between Iran and Israel, and that extends into the Abraham Accords, so that that region gains some stability and we are not so involved. Like, yeah, are we isolating ourselves? I don't know. You can call it isolationism. I call it like being forward thinking about stability, but we can achieve that with the method. The best method for us to not be entangled in Middle Eastern wars is to get rid of the IRGC and let the Iranian people take over their own country. Let them be ruled themselves as should be, instead of by this theocratic apocalyptic cult, death cult.
True. Look, I mean, here's the thing. Look at these Jews in Iran. You know, all of these are Israeli. Are these Israeli agents inside Iran holding these signs? Like, is that what Nick Fuentes is saying? Look, the state TV of the IRGC is interviewing these people inside Iran, basically advertising this $100 million reward to KILL Trump. And also look at this, Netanyahu and Pete Hegseth are there as well, and Dan Kane as well. But let me actually look at this. Is this all
for
fake?
sure there's a yarmulke under that burqa.
There's a yarmulke under that burqa. Oh, here's a question, Monkey. It was Israeli fighter jets that killed Ali Khamenei. Why is it that Trump gets the main attention and Netanyahu is just an afterthought?
Look, I think there's a legend. There's a legend because we know that one of the female combat roles that we do allow, and I believe this also happens in the IDF, is fighter pilots. So there is a legend, I'm not sure if it's true, that the fighter jet that dropped that bomb, the person who pressed that button was a woman. And if he was killed by a woman, that kind of like, there's some kind of religious indication, there's a religious overtone to that, like maybe he can't get into the right heaven or something. I don't know how it all works, but the thing is, they would rather blame Trump, right? Because if we go down the line of what might have actually happened, oh my God, it's just even more humiliating.
Yeah. Actually, before I play this video, we should read some of the super chats. Fleshy Interloper saying, "What's up? Late watching a Ukraine drone masterclass." Wow, Fleshy Interloper is at a different level. Is Fleshy Interloper is so great that we have you here and you watch these things and you're like, you keep looking at the tanker traffic in the Strait of Hormuz and you're watching Ukraine drone masterclass. It's pretty high level stuff that you keep getting.
I just saw his report in school. Thank you very much, Fleshy.
Oh, thank you, Fleshy. Thank you for the reports you send us. You post for us there. And Curtis, 2 months membership, saying, Javid Shah, I'm working a lot. Well, thank you, Curtis, and thank you for being a productive member of society. And Javid Shah back at
long live the king, Javid Shah.
Javid Shah. Cool. Okay. Thanks. Bye. With a super chat from Israel. Thank you so much. Saying, theory, Turkish deal with the U.S. for fighter jets is so Erdogan lets the Kurds enter Iran to fight the IRGC on the ground with cooperation with Israel. I think, I don't know, because first of all, it's not Kurdish, it's Kurdish separatists. Those people do not deserve the word Kurdish. It's an insult to our Kurdish patriots for us to call them just Kurds. So these are the separatists, right? And also, I think Erdogan is very sensitive about the separatist movement. So I don't know. I think that is I don't know. That is their biggest red line. And also, I don't think President Trump likes these people anymore. Like he's very, very angry with these separatist groups. So I don't know. I don't think that he wants to give them another shot.
Are these even the same separatists, or weren't the separatists that were on a different front? I think these are different ones, and I don't think Erdogan would want these people to have power, because wherever Kurdish separatists are, they go against sovereignty, they go against border integrity. So giving them power would work against him if he wants this Ottoman thing.
Yes,
having them there would be not detrimental to him. I understand how the logic process would go in that direction, but I think it's more like trying to pull Erdogan away from Russia and into our sphere of influence and having him cut ties with Russia. I think that's more the play. Will he actually get those jets? We don't know, but we might warm him up to other fighters. Say, hey, we can't do this, but maybe this. Hey, these are nice. That kind of thing might be playing into it.
It just might be a nice if he doesn't. I mean, if he's not getting any F-35s, it's just a gesture. Might be a gesture from President Trump to make him feel better. We'll see. But I also do think that they're using Turkey as a way to not be so reliant on Israel as a counterbalance, so that it's not just Israel. It might also be that. And thank you so much for the super chat. By the way, I don't like that. By the way, I think Israel is the best ally you could have. But anyways, let's play this video. Oh, so he's asking her, what does this mean? Because it's in English. He said like, oh, it's just saying that whoever eliminates Trump, they're going to get $100 million.
الان امروز شما اومدین تو تشییع رهبر شهید انقلاب اسلامی. ترامپ هم تهدید کرده، جنگ هم تقریبا از دیشب آغاز شده.
Anyways, I don't want to play their BS, but Monkey, I thought you were supposed to do these things for the love of God, for going to heaven, for being a good Muslim, not for monetary gains of this world. Like, what happened to your Islamic beliefs? Like, it was.
I don't think it's right. Because they're appealing to life lovers, basically. I mean, how are you going to spend that money unless you love life? I mean, it doesn't make any sense from a theocratic perspective, or a theological perspective, at least in their crazy pantheon. I think no. This is all blue screen. They're all in the Israel soundstage. Yes. Oh my God, Nick knows the plot. He's discussed. It's not very obviously a real video outside in Iran. No. We have to trust, Nikki over here. No. It's ridiculous. Like, these people are desperate. They've shown their desperation. Their funerals are not as full as they're supposed to be. They can't hatch the plots that they want to hatch. They're getting discovered all over the place. Oh yes, I cracked the code. I know about the soundstage. Yes. But that's what it is. They're desperate. This is desperation, because if you hate life lovers, why are you giving a life lovers bounty out?
Yes. Oh wait, somebody's saying that's only 25 mil a person. What the F? Yeah, you have to get all four. Yeah, should have said or here, not and. Is it $100 million for all four of them? Like, you have to take all four?
I'm gonna take it literal, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna think that there's a typo. I think they don't have that much money, so you got to get all four if you want the prize.
Is this just a claim, or did they actually put aside $100 million for this? Like, we have to, I don't know, because this could be, guys, the reason why this is a serious threat is because even though these people themselves are not capable enough to carry out such an operation, all they have to do is go to high level professionals in Mexico and just say like, hey, there's $100 million reward for this. And then those people, and they could just, they could use crypto. It's really dangerous. This is very, very, guys, you have no idea. This is actually kind of crazy dangerous. I hope you guys are taking it seriously. There needs to be bigger. I mean, I don't even know why President Trump is outside, honestly. This is bad.
Well, it would be kind of bad if they said, look, in the contract it says and, it doesn't say or. So if you get one of them, you're not getting paid. You got to get all four, right? Because it's 25 each. It says and, okay, clearly says and. So anybody trying to take this contract, I would be very, I wouldn't take it, first of all. But look at the fine print. That's not a lot of money. For this kind of contract, that's not a lot of money. Now, would the state have the money? Now, I'm going to tell you something Armin has mentioned before. Like, these people don't just steal. They don't just sell oil. They also steal from the inside resources, because inside Iran, you also have to sell gasoline, and they get to dip their fingers into that pot. So would they be able to achieve this through their internal commerce and all this? I think it's possible. Armin, you could inform me better than anyone, but I think as much as they steal from the locals too, it's a possibility.
I mean, 100 million is not that much compared to the billions of dollars of oil money. And given that if the Islamic Republic falls, they're going to be losing billions of dollars of oil and gas money and other industries within Iran, like the steel industry, for example, then 100 million. And right now, the main threat to the Islamic Republic right now internally is a crisis of legitimacy, right? So $100 million is pocket change of investment to try to save their legitimacy, which makes them be able to hold on to power so that they could basically make their billions, like multiple billions. So this is a small fraction compared to the revenue that they make from oil and gas and other industries.
Like, I wouldn't want this to happen, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if they had achieved even one of these goals, the hell that would rain on them, like you would see boots on the ground. If any of these people died for a confirmed plot, you would see a full invasion. Like, I don't want that. But that would be the consequence. Because if we don't do that, we would be telling other nations, yeah, you can do this and not get a full invasion. Right? So the consequences are crazy. It would absolutely destroy them. That would go full door to door. They'd go door to door on these guys.
What I think the Islamic Republic might want to do is a failed attempt, so that they could have it both ways, right? This is what they sometimes try to do. They
send a moron?
They might get a professional and then tell the Americans that it's coming, so that it gets it gets stopped, so at least they could show their followers that we are trying.
And they get to show America I'm trying to help by like, hey, snitching on my own plot. Yeah, that's a false flag.
They will tell the Americans, like, look, we're not, don't carpet bomb us. We're telling you that this is happening, okay? But we need this. And they will tell their own people that, look, we're trying.
Yeah, yes, this would be a professional retard, not an amateur. Because taking this job, no matter how professional you are, is not smart.
Yes. So yeah, actually, you're right. That's actually a good way to tell people not to take this job. So hey, professionals who are tempted to take this job, you're gonna probably get sold out by the Islamic Republic itself, because first, they will save the money; they won't have to pay you. Two, they know that if this is successful, they're gonna get carpet bombed. So anybody who takes this job, the Islamic Republic is actually going to sell you out.
Absolutely.
Think about it. It's a really good investment from the Islamic Republic, because they don't have to pay the money, but they also manage to virtue signal to their own followers that we're trying.
It's a double virtue signal, because you virtue signal to your home audience that you're trying, and you virtue signal to the administration I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
Oh, this is elements in my administration. It wasn't me, but you see me. I'm in charge, and I'm telling you, I'm on your side.
Yes, Trump. We don't. Yeah, exactly. They would say, like, the people who are doing this, it's not us, but we're doing you a favor by telling you exactly what they're planning, and this is why you have to keep me, Ghalibov, in charge.
Yeah, I want to give credit to Steve Moretz for the professional retard comment. Thank you. You started this line of thought. Appreciate you in the chat. We keep an eye on you. We love you guys.
Yeah, we do. Okay, so let's look at this take. I know this is on CNN, but I think there's a good take here. Let's actually play
it. You seem to know exactly who Donald Trump is talking to. How do you know that?
Well, just as an American watching it play out, it certainly feels as though there's no sort of organized fashion of what's going on.
You said he's not talking to generals.
Fields.
Talking to economic planners. I'm just asking how you know that. It seems to be a wild assertion. I just wonder what evidence of that there is.
As a tax-paying American, I sit there and I watch this stuff play out within minutes after the markets close. I watch before markets open.
So no evidence. So here's what I think. I think we achieved a great military victory. The Iranian military is devastated. I disagree with Max. I don't think they're currently on the brink of building a nuclear weapon, because they can't be, because of the military victory that we have achieved.
I didn't say they were on the brink of building a nuclear weapon.
You said we have maybe progress.
I said we have not eradicated their nuclear program. Like Trump said, they have 1,000 pounds of highly enriched uranium. They still have it.
Yeah, and it's buried beneath a significant amount of rubble.
And then they can take it out of there when they want to.
Thanks to the United States military. So that's number one.
That's a lie. They can't.
Don't mischaracterize what I said.
After the military victory, they gave diplomacy a chance. And as the president said repeatedly, he always said, I would like to have a deal. I'm prepared for them to not behave, in which case they get nothing, and we have to go back to a military option, which is where we are today. Where it ends, I don't know. There hasn't been as much volatility in the oil market the last couple of days as some people might have projected, which is a good thing. But I do think it's true that they are not interested in rational outcomes here. And this whole threat to assassinate our president, just say one other thing, for all the people out there who've been crapping on our relationship with Israel and what we do with Israel and our alliance with Israel, they gave us intelligence to help us keep our president from being assassinated. That's a good thing.
I want you to notice that it's 1 against 5, and they call this fair and balanced.
Right. You're right. That's actually, but I like this guy. I like this guy.
Okay, we know this guy is magnificent, because you have to put up with these hags, right? You have to go against these cucks, and you have to do it 5-1. Like you know, we all know that these people are retarded, but fighting 5 retards is still not, you know, it's you have to keep track of all their retarded comments and replying to all their retarded tracking and replying to the retarded comments for 5 people is not as easy as it seems, but because they could slip one through, right? And you reply to 4 comments and one of them slips through, and then it's out there in the mind, well, he didn't reply to it, so it must be true. So it takes a special kind of skill, and I think this person has that kind of skill, and I think he deserves some respect for it.
Yeah, he does a good job though, even though it's not balanced, it's all against him. Also, I really loved his last point. I didn't know, because I made that point, right? So people listen to this last point regarding Israel. That was fantastic.
Our president, just say one other thing, for all the people out there who've been crapping on our relationship with Israel and what we do with Israel and our alliance with Israel, they gave us intelligence to help us keep our president from being assassinated. That's a good thing.
I need that lady got butthurt. I think I need to focus on something else that you're not saying, because you're basically
let's change the topic. You're winning this topic. We have to change to another topic. You kind of killed us on this topic. And one of the things the guy said is not true. Like she saw that, okay, he didn't answer about the rubble. So before he answers about the rubble, so they can get to it. No, they can't. No, they can't. They said they can't get to it. America says they can't get to it. If Israel knows they can't get to it, everyone knows they would need to go through China. And to go through China, it's easier to just give them some nuclear material because it's so far down. So this illusion that it's easy to get to is ridiculous. And before he got to that part, they tried to like deflect away from the topic. I think we need to focus on something that we're on point that maybe we can partially win.
Yeah. Wait, we got a good super chat. You want to read this one?
I thought for sure I would wake up to Monkey having 550. He has been excellent. My crystal ball says will be a big name. I appreciate your support, and maybe that could still happen for you this morning. I was only 9 away yesterday, so we could take a look and see what's going on with that. See if we could get 9 more.
We're 9 away from 550, from 550. So I'm gonna put the link to Monkey's channel in the chat, so you guys could go subscribe, so we could get him. We're trying to get him to 1,000, but let's reach to 550. He's only 9 away from 550, but we'll get him there soon. So go subscribe.
You guys can come by, so that like I've talked to Armin about this. I think the long-term goal is to kind of have like a news network where one podcast will stream into another. The chat just flows into a different chat, and we have the chat going, and we have like a 24/7 Armin news network.
No, we don't.
Okay. He's humble. He's humble. We can call it the Liberty Politics News Network. Is that better?
Not news network. We're gonna do commentary on other people.
Commentary network. Okay, we're workshopping this. This is just brainstorming phase. We're not writing it in stone, but that's kind of like the general idea.
Right. Anyways, let's go. We got another super chat, guys. Thank you so much for the super chats. Our super chats are growing all of a sudden fast. Omid with a super chat saying, "Did you see Trump's new truth post? What do you think?" Yeah, I have it on my list to show. Is it this one that you're talking about? Let's actually go to that now that we got a super chat. Is this the one you're talking about? Omid, let me know in the chat. So yeah, let's read it. President Trump posted, "The Islamic Republic of Iran has asked us to continue talks in quotation." Oh, I like that. "We have agreed to do so, but the United States has stated to them in no uncertain terms that the ceasefire is over. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump." Wow. What do you think? Yes. Okay. That's the one. Okay. Omid is saying that's the one. Okay. What do you think about this, Monkey?
Yeah, it's you can talk your jaw off. You can talkity talk all you want to talkity talk. It's not going to stop actions. Actions are happening. Actions are not going to stop. So this, if it's the end of the ceasefire, that means that we're moving in a different direction. The ceasefire was stopping of actions. If the ceasefire is over, we can continue actions. And those actions may be a blockade, it may be continued strikes, but that means they could talk all you want, but actions are going to continue to happen.
I like how talks are in quotation. Am I reading too much into that?
I think he thinks the talks are bullshit talks. Yeah, you're talking, but you're not doing anything you're talking about. You're just talking a whole lot of shit.
Right. Okay. Yes. Thank you, by the way, Omid, for bringing this to us. So we'll see how this, this fiery ceasefire will stop being more fire, less cease. Hopefully, we'll see. But again, whenever you want to judge these things, you have to judge it based on what happens, because we have no idea what these statements could mean until we actually see what happens on the ground.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing something in the chat I think is important. Look at
highlight
he didn't say Iran. He didn't say Iran. Look at it. Let me highlight it.
Ooh, highlight. Yeah, highlight here. Ooh, yes, you're right, guys. Like his language is changing.
A citizen is right.
Yes. Good job. The Islamic Republic. Yeah, he used to say Iran. He's been changing his language. He's stopped saying Iran. The best language would be the Islamic Republic in Iran. Do you know, Monkey, why I like to say the Islamic Republic in Iran rather than the Islamic Republic of Iran?
Well, because they're not they're in. They're like an invading, occupying force. I like IRGC personally because it just makes it like a whole, even more separate. If it's just an acronym, what does that mean? I like IRGC, but I understand why you say what you say, and I agree with you also.
Yeah, because there's nothing Iranian about them. That's why.
Yeah, they're not Persian at all. It's not very local.
Well, not Iranian, yes.
Not Iranian, not of anyone there. There's many peoples that comprise Iran. I don't want to just single out Persians. I'm an outsider. I don't want to judge these things, but they're definitely not local. This is an outside occupying force.
But I really appreciate this new language by President Trump. Really appreciate this.
I think it's an important distinction, because when you're going into legal matters and you start seeing them as separate from the country, that also matters. Like I've been talking for months that at some point they're not going to be recognized as the legitimate government, and part of starting that language started moving towards like these people are separate from the nation. I think that's very important and a very important step, and that's something you kind of ease into, and I think they're starting to ease into that.
Yes, because it's especially because for non-Iranians, this is going out of their way. I know us Iranians are nitpicky about not calling the regime Iran, but for non-Iranians, it's just a norm to refer to different regimes as their country name. So when non-Iranians go out of their way to not refer to the state as Iran, we know this was on purpose. Like we know that they did something that is not the norm, and they did it for the sake of separating. Like this is a deliberate attempt of separating the regime from the Iranian people. That's what this is. And I
notice the last thing. Notice what the last thing he said. The last after the last dot. He's signing it himself. He's saying, "I'm saying this. I'm making that distinction. I'm calling them the Islamic Republic." Like he's he. This is not like a staffer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, for sure. And okay, so the next super chat is for you. Read this one. Thank you, PJ.
Appreciate you very much. I appreciate you for your contribution to my mentor over here. He doesn't like it when I'm too nice to him. He thinks it's weird when I say I love you, Armin. He's like, stop it, monkey. No. But I'm gonna say I love you, Armin. I'm gonna say it makes it a little comfortable, but you know what? He'll be fine. He'll survive.
Well, he subscribed to your channel, PJ. Thank you, PJ.
I appreciate your subscription, of course.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. But also your donation. It helps make this happen.
Thank you, PJ. I appreciate your support to both of us. And okay, this is good because Casey is saying that he likes Scott Jennings. Okay, so let's do more of him. Thank you, Casey, for the super chat. Let's see how he handles this conversation. Okay, look at this.
The market. So he doesn't want to do something that tanks the market.
Guardrails for what? To go back to a world where we're all rainbows and unicorns with the Iranians? They've been at war with us for 47 years.
47 years? Okay.
Oh, I love that he's saying that. I didn't know this is being said in mainstream media, that the Islamic Republic has been in war with the United States for 47 years. This is not just something that started. I love that he's saying that. I didn't know this was being normalized to say in the United States.
A world where we're all rainbows and unicorns with the Iranians? They've been at war with us for 47 years.
Rainbows and unicorns. 47 years? Okay.
Nobody has been rainbows and unicorns with the Iranians.
Why didn't I learn about the 40? I'm sorry. The first time I've ever heard about the 47-year Iran war was like this year. Like we don't teach about the 47-year war with Iran in school. Like,
isn't that a problem with education?
Yeah. That's what he's saying. I'm sorry you don't read much. Here.
Like we don't teach about the 47-year war with Iran in school. Like it's insulting to actual conflicts that we've been involved in.
That you have no idea what the Iranians
that we've
have
been
done
at war with Iran
for 47
How many Americans
years.
have they killed on U.S. soil?
On U.S. Oh my God!
That distinction. You see, that means she does know.
Oh my God, she does know. Okay, you're right, monkey. You're right. She does know. She's lying. If she didn't know, she wouldn't say on U.S. Did she know? Did she not know about the hostages in 1979 at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran? Did she not know that every single day, the Islamic Republic has been saying death to America for the past 47 years? Does she not know that the official position of the Islamic Republic for the past 47 years has been the goal that to destroy United States at some point? They call Israel the little Satan and United States the big Satan, and they have officially declared that their eventual goal is to destroy the United States. Does she not know any of this? Does she not know that the Islamic Republic has killed more Americans than any other currently existing regime? She doesn't know any of this, but I think she does, because if she didn't, she wouldn't say on U.S. soil here. She does. Look at this.
It's insulting.
Actual conflicts
It's insulting
that
to
we've been
intelligence that you have no idea.
Yeah, the embassies on U.S. soil. Okay, yeah. Okay.
To say that we've been at war with Iran
for
How
47
many Americans
years.
have they killed on U.S. soil in 47 years in the war that we've
They
been
have killed thousands of Americans. They have maimed American soldiers.
Yeah,
they have
which is
attacked
all
American
wrong.
allies, and they
But
have been
why
at
have our
war
soldiers been
with
over
the
there?
West for ever since this regime came to
Do
power.
you see the
It is their
flip?
intention.
Do you see that? Do you see that? She can't deny, so she guides. She guides into American soil. When she can't keep it on American soil, then she flips to we shouldn't be there. Like, okay, so we got. I think she is taking advantage of the fact that she knows this isn't being taught in schools, so she's guiding the conversation towards what is kind of taught in school and kind of known, that Iraq was kind of a problem, because she's like kind of denying, like sometimes there's a mistake being made. Well, our education system is terrible because it's governed by leftists. But one of the big problems with the Iraq war is the messaging and what we're being taught, because it kind of hides how much Iran was involved in the aftermath and what the kind of problems we had, because it puts it all on the hands of Saddam and the Ba'ath Party. And it doesn't do enough to show it, like, hey, some of those forces that we had to face over there were just a bunch of Iran-backed insurgents, right? And the IEDs is something that came from Iran. That's one of their directives, one of their battle plans. You can probably fill us a little bit more on this as far as the details of what came from Iran into Iraq. But I think this isn't being taught enough, and I should learn more about it myself. But I think we all should, because this is a point that we should be able to discuss with detail and with knowledge.
Can you give me a second, just please, to just respond to this part? Hold on, give me a second.
47 years in the war that we
They have killed thousands of Americans. They have maimed American soldiers.
Yeah,
they have
which is
attacked
all
American
wrong.
allies, and they
But
have been
why
at
have our
war
soldiers been
with
over
the
there?
West for.
Because if they are not over there, they would come over here. How the hell do you not understand that? Because if you don't go kill them at the source, they will come and kill you where you sleep. You have to be there. You have to be there, because if they show up at your shores, it's already too late. This is a cancerous tumor that is growing. You don't wait for it to grow and take over half of the goddamn globe before you respond to it.
Of course, like they've killed and wounded thousands. Well, you know what? I'm gonna be a little bit technical, right? If you go technically, they've gotten about 1,000 soldiers, wounded about 700. That's a fact that's out there. But that's servicemen. If you go with civilians losses and you put them all together, it's more. It's way more. Like they've killed so many civilians. They've killed so many people that are our allies. They've killed so many people that people just don't know. Like I'm going to tell you something else. When these Shia clerics start exporting their Shia Durka, and that turns into a beheading in UK, I count that. I'm going to count that. If he does it in the name of Khomeini, I'm going to count that. I'm going to count them as they're propagating their terrorism. When they go and kill all these people all over Africa, I'm going to count that. I'm going to count that in the oceans of blood that they spill all over all over the world. I'm going to count it.
Let me say something here. If you think that they're killing Americans because you're over there, then why, when America was interested in having a normal relationship with the Islamic Republic after the fall of the Shah, with no aggression, zero aggression from the United States, these people went and kidnapped, took hostage the embassy staff in Tehran? Why did they do that? Why did they do that? The United States was aggressively trying to show that they're willing to work with the Islamic Republic and have a friendly relationship with them. So much so that the Americans in Tehran went to the Friday prayers and started praying with the mullahs. That's how far they went to show. And the Americans did nothing. The Americans did nothing, no aggression to the Islamic Republic. In fact, they helped them. Once the Carter administration came to the idea that, okay, forget the Shah, they didn't just abandon the Shah, they also helped the Islamic Republic stabilize. And even with that, Khomeini turned against the Americans and took hostage the embassies and came with the mission, basically announced a mission to wipe out America, wipe out Western imperialism. Without any aggression from the United States, Khomeini declared that Israel is the small Satan and United States is the big Satan and the ultimate goal. They said that from day one. Everything else the United States has been doing in that region has been a response to the threat that was started by the Islamic Republic. It started by the Islamic Republic.
I think it was a grave mistake. I think the Carter administration was one of the worst ever. Like you put it up there with as bad as Biden, as bad as I think there's another one I'm forgetting, but it's one of the worst administrations ever to have existed. But I would add to that list of people that were just aiding the Ayatollah and the mullahs. I would put France up there. I would put the BBC, ABC, NBC. Like all these people before the rise of the Ayatollah were propping him up, giving him airtime, letting him spread his tequila lies about how it's all going to be rainbows and unicorns and everything is going to be fine. Like we didn't just put him in power. We started a PR machine. And people say the US did terrible things. Now, when people say that, they're usually talking about the Democrats. It's usually people like Jimmy Carter that do horrible things. People like Obama, who gave a lot of power and gave us terrible, oh my God, it's operating standards when I'm forgetting the exact words. I'm fighting migraine here, but I can't not respond to this, right? I have to be here. We have to be here on the ball about this. Gave us terrible orders when we had to deal with these people. It's usually the Democrats that make America look terrible. And when we look back at our histories, America bad. Well, who was in charge? Who did this? It was Carter. It was Carter. It was the leftist media. It was France, and it was the BBC. If you look at the reports, look at all the reporting before the Shah reached power, before the hostage situation. They were the ones who put him in power. It was them. And it was a terrible thing to do. But because it didn't turn out well, the revisionists say, well, it was America. No, it wasn't America. It was Jimmy Carter. It was the fucking Democrats. Oh, this is something I'm seeing in the chat. They blamed Carter for protecting the Shah. That's the opposite of what he did. Nixon, I think, was the one that was kind of cool with the Shah.
Oh yes, Samantha saying the Americans were giving the Shah asylum. No, they weren't. They didn't. They didn't. In fact, that's why the Shah wanted to go to America to treat his cancer, and they denied him. Not only they denied him asylum, the Americans denied him treatment. After years of being an ally of United States, when the mullahs kicked the Shah out of Iran, they didn't even bring the Shah to United States to treat his cancer.
Didn't he go to Mexico or something?
He went to Egypt first, and eventually he went to Mexico. Yeah, but he went to Mexico because the Americans weren't allowing him in. Yeah, they allowed him initially, but then they immediately kicked him out. You know, the reason why they kicked the Shah out because the Carter administration was afraid of the Islamic Republic backlash. So immediately after he went to the United States, they kicked him out. Guys, look at this. The Americans were so interested in maintaining a good relationship with the Islamic Republic that they decided to kick out the Shah that was their ally for so many years. For so many years, the Carter administration decided to kick out the Shah who was fighting cancer to show good faith when it comes to having a relationship with the Islamic Republic. And then still the Islamic Republic declared war on Israel, chanted death to America, and went and took hostage all the American workers in the embassy. The Carter administration, not the Americans.
Yeah, it's like for Americans, when people take the acts of the Democrats and say America, it's like when people take the acts of the IRGC and call it Iran. At least for conservatives,
Yeah.
I know that's a false distinction. It's very different. Okay, I respect that the IRGC is way worse than Democrats at this point, right? So I don't want to be disrespectful in that regard. But you kind of get what I mean, right? These people are so bad. They get to blanket all the errors, all the mistakes, all the evils, all the poison of the Democrats gets blanketed in with America, and you know that's not fair. That's not fair at all.
I said multiple times. I said the Carter.
Yes, you did. You were very respectful of that. Thank you, Texas. We do make a point to make that distinction here, but a lot of people don't, and that's a problem. I think as conservatives, we should.
You guys know I'm pro-American. You guys know I'm pro-American, so don't.
Yes, he's even pro-American monkeys.
Yes. Also, guys, I am the one that on the Persian channel, every time people say like, "Oh, Americans betrayed the Shah," I'm the one who always remind them that Nixon loved the Shah and Reagan loved the Shah. It's not the Americans. It was the Carter administration. I always, on the Persian channel, I always remind people that how good the relationship between Nixon and Shah was, and how much Reagan also supported the Shah.
I
always do
appreciate that. Personally, I appreciate that, and Chad should too.
Oh, thank you. We got a couple of super chats. Sherry, thank you so much for the super chat, saying the only thing the U.S. has that no other country has is rednecks.
There is a legend that if anybody invaded America, the military would not be able to respond, because by the time they got there, the enemy would be dead, and all that would be found would be beer cans and shotgun shells on the floor. The enemy would be dead.
Thank you, Sherry, for the super chat. And then we got Sayed who got us to our goal. Thank you so much, Sayed, saying, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Sayed. I appreciate you. Always very supportive. Sayed is very supportive. Thank you. And also Sherry,
Appreciate
too.
you.
All of you guys are very supportive. Thank you, Sayed. And this is for you, Sherry, another super chat. You want to read this?
Sherry says, exactly, Motorpool. Love you, Sherry. Mwah, 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 monkey kisses.
Okay, that's kind of gross.
They're digital. It's going to be fine.
It sounds very like wet. Okay. All right, hold on. We didn't even finish this though. Here,
I have very big lips. I can't help it.
Oh my god, you're making it worse. See, look at this. Ew, monkey kisses. It's not just me. Texas.
Okay, I'll send you monkey hugs then. Oh god.
Okay,
hairy
hugs.
monkey hugs.
Hug.
Very hairy monkey hugs.
All right, hold on. Let's continue.
47 years in the war that we
They have killed thousands of Americans. They have maimed American soldiers.
Yeah,
they have
which is
attacked
all
American
wrong.
allies, and they
But
have been
why have
at
our
war
soldiers been
with
over
the
there?
West for ever since this regime came to power. And it is their intention to build a nuclear weapon and use it on us and use it on Israel and use it on the West. That is their intention, and they state
No,
it
they
every day.
intend to just keep using the Strait of Hormuz. They have now learned that they can behave like a nuclear power without ever needing to be one. But
What are you talking about? They don't intend to do that. What are you talking? They say they are. They say their intention is world domination. Why don't you believe them? Monkey, why don't these people believe the mullahs when they say that their intention is world domination and to destroy Western imperialism? And what they mean by that is United States. Why don't they believe them?
This is the DSA with a mask on. These people are anti-America. They want to destroy what they call the American empire, which we're not very imperial in any sense. And these people are just rats in disguise. They disguise themselves as being pro-America, but of a different, more socially conscious, but they're not. They're absolutely not. They're liars. They're scum, and their purpose is the destruction of America, and to become the new power under Marxist. They don't want to destroy the pyramid. They want to flip it upside down and gain power at the top of the new pyramid, and let the sides just fall where they fall. Right. So that's why they center themselves around destroying America, lying, cheating, whatever they have to do. Like there is no truth but power. Right. And to them, power comes however it comes. They don't care about lying. They just want the power. And if lying gets them their goal, they're going to lie. This is a DSA with a mask on. This isn't a Democrat in the blue dog old sense. Like, oh, I want social programs for workers so they have childcare if they need it, or like that, or while they get home from work or whatever. This is not what they want. I want a little bit cheaper healthcare. I want to pay into an insurance system that's government watched. Like, we may not agree with their methods, but this is not the old school blue dog Democrats. This is a different breed. These people are liars, and they're just the DSA with a mask on.
Interesting. Let me watch it. What they say over here. This is good.
But okay, so like if we're going to keep going with this, what number of American troops are we willing to commit to keep going? And like, what's your number? Like, how many U.S. troops are you willing to expend to achieve your objectives? And what amount of money? Because like, we're not having that conversation, and we need to, because we've already spent $300 billion. We've already lost. Like,
what
those
amount
are
of
the
money am I willing to
we need to answer.
to keep
Those
the
are the
American people
guardrails we're
safe
talking about
from the
with
worst
Congress.
regime in the world? A fair amount.
But okay.
Yeah, I mean, why is okay? So I don't think the value of American lives and the lives of other people around the world. Yeah, whatever you need to spend to protect Americans, you spend it.
What's the point of this spending? We pay a lot for the Army. We pay a lot for the Navy. The point is being able to use it when we need it. And this is when we need it. I mean, what do you mean? What do you, oh, now you care? Why don't you care? This whole operation, I would say from February till now, cost about an administration. If you're looking at the fraud in the administration of California, it cost about as much as that for one administration, like 4-year period, 4-year period of California fraud. That's about as much as this operation has cost. Like, these people don't give a damn about spending. They don't care about how much we spend on illegal immigrants taking being put up in hotels, getting housing, getting food stamps that should go to like our own impoverished people that get that money taken out of their paychecks when they do have a job. They don't care about that. They don't care. They don't give a damn about spending. They only bring it up when it suits. This is the whole. There is no truth but power. She's lying. She doesn't give a damn about spending. This is a false dichotomy. She does not care about spending. This is a lie.
Oh, we got a I got a new video from President. I mean, it's not new, but I didn't see this before. President Trump apparently has some instructions to what to do if he's assassinated. Let's watch this.
You know what a race car driver is? 0.1%. A bull rider, that looks pretty dangerous to me. It's 0.1%. No, it's 5.2% is you don't make it. You should have told me. You're an excellent reporter. You should have told me that years ago. Maybe I wouldn't have run. It's a very dangerous profession. No, I'm number one on the kill list for Iran. They're lovely people. I'm number one. So I don't know. I can't tell you that, but I don't really care because I'm doing my job and I'm doing it, I hope, better than anybody's ever done it, because we have a country that's hot and really, really successful. But I mention it only because it's on the list. I mean, it came out. There was another list came out yesterday, and I'm number one on. I like being number one on TikTok better, but I'm number one on the list for killing. You know what a race car driver?
Okay, so he's saying that he put instructions. If he's assassinated, he has left instructions to bomb them at levels never seen before. This is what you said, Monkey. That this is what's going to happen.
You don't want that. Like, if anything happens to him, I think it would be a bad thing to try to do, because if you you're gonna get the money, you're gonna do it. Okay, they're just gonna snitch on you to virtue signal to their public and ours. They don't want to do that. The consequences of actually doing this plot. I'm going to tell you something right now. Even if it's a failed plot, there's going to be very dire consequences. Even a failed plot. Like, even if they get caught before they do it. Let's say they do it. A bullet does go off, but it misses. It is still going to be disastrous for them. I don't see how this ends well for them. Like, I don't see it. This will not in any form, like, just that a plot has been discovered. This could lead to higher amount of less talks and more boom boom. That's what this could lead to.
Yeah, we got a super chat, which is gonna actually look at this. Casey saying watching Sneeko getting smoked was cathartic. Is this regarding him getting beaten?
Well, we did go over it in my stream after Ali's wonderful stream with you. I went over it and I went step by step, and I went into how many minutes Strickland actually put the torque to him, right? Because Strickland for like the first 3 minutes doesn't even try to hit him. He's just blocking, just feeling at how hard Sneeko can punch. Then he sees Sneeko has very weak punches, and he lets Sneeko punch as hard as he can, right? In the ring. This is all in the ring, right? And then for 20 seconds, and I can count it, we counted it for 20 seconds, Strickland goes all out, and you see his corner throwing every towel in. It was horrible.
We're getting into too much detail, but make sure you research if you can actually show that on YouTube. Speaking of, thank you, Casey, for the super chat. Speaking of Sneeko, he's actually a good example to play for people to see that, you know, it's not just the Islamic Republic. This entire Islamic mindset is about world domination. So she's like, oh no, they didn't want to do that. Listen to Sneeko. He's already in the United States. Look at this.
Inshallah, the whole world is Muslim. The whole world can accept the truth. The whole world can go to heaven, God willing. The whole world can reject the idols, reject this pagan worship, reject the skin color worship, get rid of racism, endless wars, oppression of others, get rid of this division. Inshallah, the whole world says La ilaha illallah and could go to heaven. I want the best for you. I love you. I don't want you to burn in hellfire for eternity for worshiping yourself, for worshiping Trump, for worshiping the Jews in Israel. I want you to go to heaven. I want you to have eternal paradise.
Okay. So yeah, this is the mindset. They think the whole world is evil unless it's Islamic.
Yes,
That's
I
why they have
sent you
world domination.
the clip. It's at 2:26. If you want to see Sneeko get the snot beat out of him, it's right there.
I don't think we could show that on YouTube. I don't think we
I
could show
did.
any
It didn't have a
beating.
problem with it.
Usually it might, just because it doesn't have a problem, it doesn't mean that it's allowed. Like YouTube's algorithm, sometimes it's like late on these things. So I don't know. Well, we have to do some research seeing if it's allowed to show that. But there's a type of beat. Look at this. Alex Jones went after Sneeko here. Now that we got a super chat here, let's play this. So yeah, just because YouTube doesn't take you down right away, it doesn't mean it doesn't have a problem with this. It might come back at you like in a few months or something. But here, let's see here.
Manifesto, they're Mexican white nationalist cat boys. So okay.
Durka Muhammad Jihad.
Well, it's something like,
Oh my God, the Durka. I didn't know the Durka is this world famous.
We went over this. It was magnificent. You're in for a treat. Like, I'm telling you.
Oh my God, Durka Muhammad Jihad. Okay, let's watch this.
the manifesto, they're Mexican white nationalist cat boys. So okay.
Durka Muhammad Jihad.
Well, it's stuff like that.
What do you want me to tell you? I'm your friend, like the Quran says, and then stab you in the back?
The Quran doesn't say that.
How about I become a Shiite with you and we take swords and cut our heads, and for 8 hours I just march you like
That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. Or I could be a megachurch Christian with Kenneth Copeland drinking my blood. I could be with Erica Kirk shooting fireworks off my ass and twerking. You want me to do that? Small minority to demonize 2 billion people.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weasel from Connecticut, the mighty Mongol, the amazing, all-powerful, sneaky
Allahu Akbar!
Sneeko.
Allahu Akbar!
You don't even have a brain.
So what makes you think you can deport
You
me?
gotta have a brain to be
So
able to
what
get
makes you
knocked
think
out.
you can deport me if Sean Strickland can't knock me down, huh? You can't stop me. I'm coming.
I know. Then tell me.
Coming.
I'm coming. Durka Muhammad.
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir! The women.
Takbir!
The slavery that we take the women as sex slaves and,
And inshallah, inshallah, you become Abdul Alex Jones.
What is happening? Oh my God. he's
Assalamu
nervous. Wow, Sneeko was nervous. Look at Sneeko's face. He got nervous. Hold on,
Abdul Alex Jones.
He's out jihading him. Look at this. He's out jihading Sneeko.
Yes. You can't out retard Alex Jones. You're not. It's not possible.
Look at Sneeko. He was trying to be intimidating with his Allahu Akbar, but he's now being out jihad. Look at the way he's looking around. Like, what is happening? Oh my God, he got scared. Sneeko's scared.
Inshallah, you become
Look, guys, just only focus. Just only focus on Sneeko's face here.
Abdul Alex Jones.
He's nervous.
Assalamu alaikum. Marry your cousin. It's so much fun.
You really have.
Durka Muhammad Jihad.
Wow.
It comes from your Jewish supreme leaders. It comes from Abraham, who you are the bad son. You are the bad Islami. Bad Abraham say, you are not the chosen. No good, Sneaky. You are cursed, Sneaky. You are cursed to wear nightgown and marry cousin. Bye, Sneaky. I love you.
Hey,
I'll
stop
see you tomorrow.
killing.
His name is a sneaky snake, oh snake. All right. We love you, Sneaky.
See you tomorrow. Salam alaikum.
Bye. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
He's just farming him. This is what is known as farming. When you take someone that is a fertile ground for content by ridiculing them and showing them being ridiculous, he's farming him. He's also like going all out. Like if you start screaming Alex Jones is a bad idea, because Alex Jones is going to outscream you. Like a lot of people give Alex Jones shit, but when Kanye went crazy, like Alex Jones had him on his show and he was pushing back in favor of Judaism. He was like it's not, I'm going to tell the audience, like, this is something that's not very well remembered, but is a fact. Like when Kanye went crazy, he left Tim Pool's show. Like a couple of days later, he went on Alex Jones and he started saying all this shit about Jewish people. And like Alex Jones kept pushing back. Look, this is not all Jewish people. These are some people in power. I think you're wrong in just blanket blaming Jewish people for this. The problem is that there are some elites that align. And Alex Jones pushed very, very hard against this discrimination against all Jewish people. I think he has been led astray, maybe by people like Cenk Uygur. But if you go along the long line of history, most of the time he has been against this thing against Jewish people. I think this is a new thing, and I think it can be overcome. I think he could right his way. And I can't stop but enjoying how he is coming so hard down on Islam. Like he is coming down on Islam way harder than Nick Fuentes. Way hard. Like he is devastating Islam. If you don't know anything about Jewish people, but you just want to know about Islam, Alex Jones is helping you out, because you're seeing how ridiculous some of the claims of Islam for peace is. When Sneeko was in one frame making signs with his finger like he was going to cut Alex Jones's throat, and then playing victim. Now, what about the First Amendment and my rights and this and that? So, like, you're just making death threats a second ago, and now you're the victim? What are you talking about, Sneeko? Like, he went hard against that, and I appreciate that. And I think we can win him back. I want us to win Alex back from the Jew hatred.
Oh, I don't think there's any saving Alex. He's too far gone.
We can disagree agreeably. We don't have to agree on that one little point. We agree on like 99% of things.
Yes, but I don't. Alex is too crazy. But
he may be crazy enough to come back.
I don't know. I wouldn't trust him if he comes back, to be honest. But anyways, it's okay. We got a super chat saying from Van Dyveld saying, as if it isn't obvious, Sneeko or Tate are not Muslim. I do think Tate is not Muslim based on the definition of a Muslim, but Sneeko is Muslim. You don't have to follow every single Islamic rule to be a Muslim, but Tate has said things and believes in things that officially removes him from the fold of Islam. But okay. So I agree with you on Tate. But when it comes to Sneeko, I think he's Muslim. He's a bad Muslim. He could be a bad Muslim, but he's a Muslim.
I would say about Sneeko that one of the first things that Alex Jones did was play videos of Sneeko a couple of years ago saying that, yes, when he was young, he used to watch a lot of gay porn. And we don't hate gay people, but like he appears to now, right? So he used to watch a lot of gay porn. And then there's an interview with Andrew Tate saying like, he was talking to Andrew Tate, Sneeko. And he was kind of asking, well, how do you know it's not, you don't like it if you never tried to be gay? Like, and that's when Andrew Tate, I realized that Sneeko was like kind of coming on to me and coming out of the closet and trying to make a move on me. And I just stopped talking to him. And that video was played at the start, like Sneeko himself saying about how much he used to enjoy gay porn. And then the video of Tate, like saying, hey, this guy kind of came out and kind of like, made some kind of like past request to I don't know, gobble up his ding. I don't know what the proposal was, but he was like, you got to try it. Why don't we try it? Like that, playing those videos back to back. I think that was a good thing.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me save this. Okay, cool. Let's go. We got another super chat from Sayed. Thank you so much, Sayed, for the super chat. Monkey, do you want to read this one?
Sayed says, throw Islam in the toilet as shit it is.
Yes, I agree. And there's no reforming it. There is no reforming Islam, guys.
There's no orthodox Islam. Islam's all like the base Islam is just terrible. You can't reform it, and there's no early version that was ever better.
I mean, even if you can reform it, you shouldn't reform it. You should get rid of it. There is reforming Muslims, but there is no reforming Islam. That's the way I say it usually. Oh, let me see. Okay, so this one is about Witkoff and Kushner. Okay, let's actually see what the hell this is about. I'm gonna get your opinions on this.
I also don't think that Witkoff and Kushner should be the ones doing this. They're business guys. They have not been effective in Ukraine, not been effective in Gaza. They have not been effective in this. They can't have three portfolios to begin with. We have a State Department for a reason. Marco Rubio, even Democrats admit, has been looked at as a genius internationally. He is the guy that most people would want, even if you gave truth serum to Democrats. He should take the lead on this because you can't do this like a business deal. You have to understand the history of the region and how distrustful the Iranians have been. They will only make a decision if they have no other choice. You know, Kayleigh, and I also don't.
What do you think about this?
No lies detected. Like this favoring of a business deal, I think is a bad idea. The only way I see it as a good idea is that if this is a pump fake, if you're like, oh, well, he chose these people because he wants to make a deal. Like if I was going to try to trick you and tell you that, no, I really, really want a deal, I'd send some businessmen and make you think I'm just following it for it because I'm sending businessmen while in the background I'm just preparing to bomb you. That is the 5D chess, the 64D Jenga take. If I'm going to be completely, realistic about it, I would say it is a mistake to send these people. And if your purpose is to get a deal, if I'm going to take you at face value that this is what you're trying to do, I do think it is a mistake. I'm not a steel man and just be realistic, like try to take both takes.
No, I agree with you. And I think that I do think Witkoff and Jared Kushner have their biases, financial biases when it comes to dealing with, could be. I mean, when it comes to Qatar, UAE, and Saudi Arabia, they have a lot of, I mean, this is actually verified. It's not even could be, right? So I think Jared Kushner and Witkoff, they have so many financial deals with the Qataris, the Emiratis, and Saudis. So there would be so much, they're biased towards a deal. And there's so much influence by their, all of the financial motivations that they have with these three countries. So that's why I think it was a mistake to include them in this deal, given their financial motivations.
Yes, I think even if you have had successful business deals with more logical actors, you have to recognize that those are more logical actors. I wouldn't put them far up the logic tree, but I think that the Saudis and the Qataris, though I don't trust them at all, I believe they have more business sense and they have more of a penchant towards stability than the IRGC. The IRG has been a destabilizing force since its inception.
I think it makes sense to use Witkoff and Kushner for dealing with the Saudis, with the Qataris, with the UAE, but it's insane. I think it was a huge mistake to use the same people to deal with Hamas, to deal with the Islamic Republic. That they were a wrong choice for this. They might have been the right choice for dealing with the Saudis. They might have been the right choice to deal with the Emiratis or the Qataris or the Bahrainis or the Kuwaitis. Okay, but to deal with Hamas and the Islamic Republic and Putin, they were the wrong choice. They were the wrong choice.
Yes, I see that. I would have put more conditions. Like if I sent, let's say I sent these people myself, I would put, look, you got to put in this deal that they're going to stop funding these universities. They're going to stop funding these NGOs. Like if we're going to have a deal with them, we can't have our own people we can't have our own people against us because you are funding these NGOs, because you are funding these power lobbies against us. Like you have to stop this. You have to stop this and we can make some big business deals. But as long as you're trying to influence behind our backs, our electorate, we can't really have a deal. Like this is a policy that I would put forth when dealing with the Saudis, with the Qataris, because you and me have both seen the kind of influence and spending that they're doing, and it's not good. So I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. I would put some conditions on that before I send them out.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Mark Levin. Mark Levin, I don't remember the last take of Mark Levin that I didn't agree with. Like, he's so on point. So I'm assuming that he's going to be saying something here that we agree with as well. So this is going to be.
I want to thank you for introducing me to him. I didn't know him before you.
Oh, really? Okay, okay. Well, thank you.
We don't talk about the people in Iran anymore. Why is that? Why aren't they in the memorandum of understanding? We talk about never again. What happened in the Third Reich was so horrific. The concentration camps, the gas chambers, what they did to those people is unimaginable. Well, it's happening in Iran today. What's being done to these people, most of them young people, is unimaginable. And we pretend that it's not happening. We've given up on them. Well, join me in saying we have not given up on them. Please stand up. Stand up and say we have not given up. We have not given up. Those people in Persia, in Iran, need to be liberated.
Oh my God! I didn't know he's gonna say it like that. I don't know. This means so much to me. This means so much to me. I really appreciate this. Look at this at the very end. He was shaking. Look at this.
Need to be liberated.
This means so much to me.
He said it so loud that the mic clipped. Did you see how loud he said? Like he was saying, like from the heart. You know, when you say something like "ah," like he's like really angry about this. I understand. I also understand why you don't want to show the IRGC that hey, you have these hostages. Like I understand why you don't want to put too much attention on the people of Iran because they might start messing with them, torturing them, doing things to them to try to get us to do something. Like I understand that aspect. But I can't disagree for 1 second with anything he said because everything he said is correct. I kind of like see why you wouldn't want to use them. This is something that someone in our discussion group was saying. Like if you put too much attention and show that the American public is weak to us hurting the people, they're going to start hurting the people to try to make us do things.
No, I don't agree with that. I think this was 10 out of 10. This is, you know, I really appreciate how much Mark Levin keeps bringing back attention to the Iranian people. So much of this conversation just keeps ignoring the Iranian people. And Mark Levin has been such a powerful force in bringing that voice to the attention back. And I know it's easy for others to just forget us, forget the Iranian people, because I know the Iranian people don't have that much of a purchasing power. They're not armed, and that's why in the negotiations and in the discussions they just constantly get dismissed, constantly get ignored, constantly get forgotten. But I just don't know how to express the level of gratitude that I have for somebody like Mark Levin to use his platform, because he has a big platform, he has a big audience, he has a loud voice. And the fact he gets nothing out of this. He gets nothing out of this, but I can tell that he genuinely believes this. I could tell, I could tell in his voice and in his face that this bothers him. The fact that so many people just forget the Iranian people. I mean, what's the point of saying never again, right? And he sees this and he thinks it's not okay. Like he can't understand why it's so easy for the rest of the world to just look away. And I can tell in his voice that this has impacted him a lot.
I just like to clarify that just because I steel man a position doesn't mean I hold it. Like what I hold in my heart is what Mark Levin is saying. What I want is to be more of this to be spoken more, especially to the people that don't know that much about this, that are not well informed, as they become more attentive during the upcoming elections and all this kind of thing. My heart is with what he's saying. Logically, even I can understand why this is an important point. If I am just steel manning a position that I don't hold, that's what I would say. Like maybe he doesn't want them to become part of the calculus, but I do agree that this is the right thing to do and say.
Thank you, guys. By the way, I see your messages of support in the chat, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You guys are awesome.
So
You
don't get
guys
mad
are-
at me, chat. I was just showing a perspective, not saying that I hold it.
Yeah. We got 2 super chats. Omid, thank you so much for the super chat, saying we never forget what Mark and Laura have done for us. Yes. Yeah, Laura, she also does. She also has brought a lot of attention to the Iranian people throughout all of this. Thank you, Omid. Thank you for saying that. And also Nollybug with a super chat saying, thank you, Mark Levin, from all of us. Yes, I think a lot of Iranians appreciate Mark Levin and
Look,
everything
since I've
that's
seen him,
for
no
us.
bad takes, like not even one.
And then Sayed with a super chat saying, we love you, Amo Mark Levin. Yes, we do love you. Thank you.
Amo
Yes.
means love in Spanish. What does it mean? And does amo also mean
Uncle.
love? Uncle?
Okay. In Persian, you mean? Yes,
Yes.
in Persian it means uncle. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the support.
In Spanish, yo te amo means like I love you.
I want to listen to this one more time, guys. I hope you don't mind, because I really enjoyed every single second of it, and just want to listen to it again. Please, guys, pay attention to the last few seconds, because you can see that he is emotionally, like his body is shaking at the very end. Watch this again.
We don't talk about the people in Iran anymore. Why is that? Why aren't they in the memorandum of understanding? We talk about never again. What happened in the Third Reich was so horrific. The concentration camps, the gas chambers, what they did to those people is unimaginable. Well, it's happening in Iran today. What's being done to these people, most of them young people, is unimaginable. And we pretend that it's not happening. We've given up on them. Well, join me in saying we have not given up on them. Please stand up. Stand up and say we have not given up. We have not given up. Those people in Persia, in Iran, need to be liberated.
Thank you.
We don't.
He's pretty upset.
Yeah. Yep. We need to remember our friends in times like this, and Mark Levin is definitely a friend. And we also need to remember our enemies, which is the next video. Bushra Sheikh was in Mashhad. This is a British Pakistani woman who has been in Iran for the entire, funeral processions. And then on the last day, she was in Mashhad. Mashhad is a city in eastern Iran. That's the city where Ali Khamenei was buried in. And so the last funeral processions were in that city, and Bushra was there supporting the Islamic Republic. Let's see what she has to say here.
Those people in the West who did not believe the images that are coming out of Mashhad right now. Many called this AI. People said that there were families in Iran that were being paid by the leadership to come out and support their government. You can see behind me, there are seas of people They are coming from all different directions, from the left, from the right, beyond the eyes can see. There are people here right now, just a few meters away from the Imam Reza Shrine behind me. This cannot be AI. It is a reason for misinformation to make.
This is not AI, but it's not that many. I don't understand what you get. We didn't say this is AI. This is real, but that's like your entire funeral, all of it together was like around 500,000. Yeah,
she's using a very specific angle. It's close to the ground, and she's not showing the other side of the camera. So she's picking to put her back towards where there's the most people, and choosing a place low to the ground. So you have to kind of imagine what is beyond what you can see to imagine how many people are out there. This is a very deceptive tactic, and she's lying, and we know she's lying.
But no, but this is going to look busy even from the top. I mean, she doesn't have a drone or anything. This is going to look very busy from the top because there's like you have tens of thousands of people packed in an area, and tens of thousands of people is going to look very impressive. But tens of thousands of people is not the millions that they were promising us. So if you look at a crowd of tens of thousands of people in this mosque, in this outside mosque area, the whole area is going to look packed. But if you add it all up, and a lot of people have done, all the analysts are basically the range of the numbers that everybody has come up with, objective analysis has shown, is anything between 300,000 to 600,000, right? You know, the max I've seen is 700,000. And a lot of like expert, crowd counting experts have come out. Hold on, I'm not finished. A lot of crowd counting experts have come and analyzed all of this. And the biggest number I've ever seen is 700,000. But I think most of it is around 500,000, which gives them less than 1% of Iran, without taking into account that the people that came from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, without taking into account the mandatory requirement for government employees to be there, without taking into account that they hand out food and other things there. So yeah, but this crowd is going to look impressive at the top, but again, it's not going to reach 1 million. Like no analysis, no objective, unbiased analysis that has looked at all of these crowds has gotten you even 1 million, which means that you have less than 1% of Iran.
So what I had was a question. So what you're telling me, I'm not familiar with this area. So this is an enclosed area?
This is like a mosque, like a shrine, right?
Okay.
For Imam Reza, and there's a courtyard area outside that everybody has to go into. But even if you just put people in a few streets, you put tens of thousands of people in a few streets, it's going to look packed, right? But it's tens of thousands. Yeah.
But I want to highlight a comment that I started over here from X. Okay. And I want to tell the people that I did put my channel on X. Armin's channel is also X. I don't know which one of the two it's from, but we appreciate our X watchers. And he's saying anyone with a, oh my God, I lost it. I apologize. Yekta Tavakoli was saying that anyone with a bachelor's degree in photography knows what she's doing. Like she's playing with the angle and all this. I'm sure she's doing that, and that they are packing it, that there's several layers of deception, but I'm also sure that it's nowhere near what they're claiming. Like Armin is very right about this. The highest estimate you could give is around, and you're being generous, 500K, right?
Yeah, I mean, I saw one person saying max 700K, but even if we give them that, it's still like less than 1%, even if we give them that. But mostly it's 300K, 400K, 500K. But let's say 700K. You're still less than 1%.
I can't go that far.
Yeah.
Like by what I'm seeing, I can't go that far. I'll go as far as 5. And I think I'm stretching it.
I agree. But let's see what she has to say.
And behind me, this cannot be AI. It is a reason for misinformation to make people believe that the Iranian people here do not support their religion and do not support their governments. But we know that that is simply not the truth. Have a look at the number of people. It is only 8:30 in the evening. The burial process had not taken place, and there are thousands more are expected. The estimated number of people inside of Mashhad right now is beyond the millions. I'm seeing it and witnessing it for
Millions.
myself. This is not
She doesn't even say like 1 million, like millions. That's not what millions look like.
AI. I'm Bushra Sheikh reporting to you from the farewell, the final farewell here in Mashhad. Despite the US bombings, despite the onslaught, we can hear interceptors above our heads, defense systems by the Iranian government, but still, people are out in their thousands.
Oh, yeah, no, you got it right at the end. In
Yeah,
thousands,
thousands.
not million. Yes, that you got it right at the end. Not you said millions, then you changed it to thousands. What do you think about that before we go to this next video?
Look, I think I think she can't go back. That's what I think. I think she's related to Palestinian Action, which is a terrorist organization. I think the U.S. should also designate them. Like, I could be wrong. I could be mistaking this woman with another one, but I think she is in league with terrorist organization, going to a terrorist government. IRGC is known to be a backer of terrorism and to be terrorizing their own population. So I don't know how she gets back. You know what? Maybe she should stay. Maybe she should stay and see how it goes for her living over there.
Okay, let me actually, before I go, I have my own updates from the funeral of Ali Khamenei, but we got a super chat from Fleshy Interloper saying, hard to argue with Mark Levin. Yep, I agree. 100%. Very true. All right, let me show you something very interesting. Okay, this is something I predicted that would happen, and it happened. You know, Monkey, remember I predicted that it will be internal clashes between during Ali Khamenei's funeral, between them and the regime. You know, the people who are against the MOU, against the negotiations. There going to be some conflict there, right? Unless they could
the
manage
streets
to
and the
suppress it.
suits.
Yes, I said that what you're probably going to see during the funeral of Ali Khamenei is certain people who want to come and voice their opinion against the government negotiating with the Americans, and the government will try to suppress it. Remember I said that, right?
You did very clearly, and you did a long time ago, long
Yes.
before the funeral.
So look at this. Look at this. Yes. So in this one, I have two videos. In this one video, you're gonna see both. Hold on. You see. You saw what happened?
Someone got their hand knocked down.
And then somebody was chanting, and the security comes, puts his hands down, and puts his hand on his face and takes him out. Look at this one more time.
Put the hand on the mouth. Like with the left hand, grab the hand and put it down. With the right hand, put the hand on the mouth.
Exactly. One more time, guys.
Let it run in one more time. Look at the hands. Look at like the hands on both people.
There you go. And this is reported by a media of within the Islamic Republic. It's Akhbar Jumhur, and it says that the caption here is saying the first video of responding to basically suppressing the chanters against Ghalibaf. Okay, so this is what the caption said, and this is from Jumhur News. And Jumhur News also published another video. This one is even more significant.
I'm sorry, who is Jumhur News? Are they from inside or
yeah, they're
or
from
outside?
inside, but they're
From inside?
they're considered to be part of the reformers, so-called reformers, but they are from inside, right? And also, so look at this one. So this sound that you're hearing is basically religious vocalist Maddas basically saying sad Islamic things about what's happening and stuff like that for people to
This is very loud.
No, did you guys see what happened? Somebody was doing religious thing, whatever. Somebody grabbed the microphone from a person who was doing the event, doing the religious singing, and they shouted. So the person who was basically doing like, the Durka Durka song, somebody grabbed the mic from him and shouted something in the microphone. So okay, let me play that again. Let me know first if you understand what's happening here.
Sounds like I don't understand.
Yeah, I will tell you. So they cut the mic.
I see what you're saying. That's pretty obvious. That's what happened. Like someone got mic snatched. Like they got the mic snatched and someone said something.
This was live on state TV. So everybody saw this, right? So the person who grabbed the microphone, he said, Nakhun agha ra biyar. Nakhun agha ra biyar. And he was crying, which means stop singing, bring our Lord. Like, where is our Lord? Bring him here. Basically meaning Mushtaba. Mushtaba. He's crying. He's crying and he's saying, stop singing, bring in our Lord. Look at this here. See? You see how he's crying?
I think he doesn't like the superposition. He's against the superposition. Like he's both alive and dead. He's like, no, open the box. I don't care if it stinks in that box. I want to see what's in it.
Well, I mean, it's not the box because Ali Khamenei is in the box. He's talking about Mushtaba. I mean, oh yeah, the
superposition. Okay, you're smarter than me. You know what I'm talking about. We need to explain to the audience.
Yes, I told you. I came up with Schrödinger supreme, so I don't know what's happening to me yet. But I'm thinking about this video. That's why. And if you keep going to the end, I'm not going to play all of this. What happens right after is they come on the stage. And then they say, okay, I'm gonna spare you playing that for you guys. But basically, the guy comes like, guys, if you want to swear at somebody, if you want to attack somebody, attack me. So there's a whole bunch of here that got caught and it was missed. But at the very end, somebody kind of like, hey, guys, don't attack. If you want to attack anybody, attack me. So we don't know who they are. Who were people attacking? It shows there was a lot of tension at the funeral. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
So
I think
yeah, go on.
I think just so that the people understand, there's a thing known as Schrodinger's cat. It's a quantum physics thing where you don't know if the cat is alive or dead until you open the box, and that's the superposition of the Mushtaba. We don't know if he's alive or dead until he opens up some communication where we can see him, because right now there's not even an audio of him. And even if he doesn't have a face or a tongue, or he doesn't have a jaw, like he just lost his jaw and his tongue and he can't vocalize, he should be able to at least show his face. They could be afraid that putting him in a wheelchair makes him look weak, but I don't think this is helping. At what point is it better to just put him in a chair and pretend he can walk, but he's just sitting down at this moment? Like, what does it take to get this guy out of here? People are doubting. People are doubting it, and that's what we were referring to when we talked about the box.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me respond to this comment that you starred. He's saying Yekta Tavakkoli is saying, I think it's staged. I don't believe in the reformer hardliner illusion. They're both the same shit, trying to manipulate Iranians and the world into believing the system is capable of reform. So part of what you're saying is true and part of it is false. The part that is true is that the Islamic Republic is not reformable, and the whole reformers are trying to. This is why every time I say reformer, I put the quotation mark in the air, and do this air quotes, is to create this illusion that the Islamic Republic is reformable, and basically there are a special a pressure release valve, and also they're a scapegoat for the rest of the Islamic Republic. That is true, but their infighting is not illusion. They're not the same. They do fight, even though you're right that they use the reformers as an illusion that there is a possibility for reform. We have ample of evidence that their fighting is not staged as a real fight. So you're partly correct, though. Right. And somebody was asking, what is Grease Monkey's account? Yeah, so this is, let me put the link to his you're talking about his X account? Well, this is his YouTube channel. I could put the link to his X account in the chat as well for you guys to follow him on X. We'll put that. So this is his X account.
And if you're on X and you want to help me out on YouTube, I'm trying to reach I'm close. I'm very close. Oh, I reached 550. Guys, I reached 550.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I think someone very recently got in there and subscribed. Appreciate you very much. I'm starting to stream this also on X so that the people on X can join the people on, like, have your preferred viewing method. I appreciate that. I watch where you like to watch most. And I also appreciate any subscriber to any platform. I appreciate you all coming over here. And thank you. Thank you very, very much. And I do agree that there's a lot of infighting, that because we're some of us, like Americans, are kind of outsiders. We're like, I don't believe there's this much infighting. No, there is infighting, but it is true that they can't be reformed.
True. Yeah, there is real infighting. Okay, congratulations. You just got to 550. So guys, let's go for 1,000. Okay. 1,000 subscribers.
Well, let's try to go to 560 today, because that was yesterday's goal. So I'm gonna set the bar super low to make sure we can get across it. I'm trying to get to 560. Just 10 more of you guys that can come over. Maybe at some time check out the show at your leisure. You may not be able to watch it live, but whenever you can, watch it, like it, leave a comment. Algorithms love comments. Comment on Liberty Politics as well, because the algorithm does notice the engagement, and that's another way to make sure you get your notifications. Of course, you want to hit the notification and make sure you hit all, so you get every time we go live, you get to see that. But the algorithm loves commentary, and we love to know what you think. So make sure you put that in there.
Right. Okay, so let's watch this one right here. So these people are talking about the funeral. I want to play this and get your take. Ali Khamenei's funeral. So let's see what they have to say. And
no hijabs? Scandalous.
Financial Times said it was anywhere between 12 to 15 million people expected to have come over these 6 days, which would rival.
Wait, Financial Times didn't say that. Financial Times said that the Islamic Republic said that. You liars. The Financial Times didn't say that they were expecting 15 to 20 million. They said the Islamic Republic said that they were expecting 15 to 20 million.
Financial Times said it was anywhere between 12 to 15 million people expected to have come over these 6 days, which would rival, it would be basically the largest funeral gathering in modern history. So, just a reminder, this was supposed to be.
What are you talking about? The Financial Times didn't say that. Oh my God, here.
A regime change war. This guy was assassinated on day one, and then Israel and the U.S. systematically went down the list of Iran's leadership from, those first strikes onward. Yet, like I said, 4 months later, here's this huge segment of the Iranian population out there mourning this leader in open defiance of Washington and Tel Aviv, while Western media does try to downplay it, with some skeptics I saw even insisting that the crowds were bussed in or coerced. So, let's start with this. What's the significance of these massive funeral processions, and what are they telling us that the regime change crowd doesn't want to hear?
Can we pause?
So
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have my suspicions about that image. That first image, was that a real image? I don't believe that image is real. I could be wrong, but there is a image right at the start that I
This
don't
one.
know about. That is this real?
I don't know where they got this image from.
I haven't seen
But-
this image before. That's why I'm doubtful. I don't
Yeah,
know where it comes
because-
from.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I don't know where they got. I have seen this one, but I haven't seen that one.
Okay, she's made a false premise. She's left things out of the report on purpose to portray a false reality of what was reported, right? It's a very different to say 11 million people went than IRGC says 11 million people went. She left that out on purpose, and then when the legitimate concerns are voiced, she's dismissive about it, starts blinking like a blinking liar, looking off to the sides. Oh, it's ridiculous, trying to preface her opinion into the doubt. So these are what she calls, she's poisoning the well. These are like rhetorical manipulations to presuppose an answer, even though you're not giving an answer. You're just asking a question. There are many ways you can draw out the answer you want, or presuppose the answer in the mind, no matter what comes after. Doing these kinds of things, like casting doubt on the question you're asking. The way you ask matters as much as the question. So I think that's very important thing to notice. You have to notice there is a battle of words, and conservatives tend to lose it. Like the left wing, the Marxists, the socialists are very adept at using the word war, and I think it's very important. Framing, yes. Someone in the chat said framing. Let me highlight that. Let me see who said that. Trinoculus. Trinoculus is very good. Oculus, very good eyes on this. They're framing it a certain way so that when you look at the picture, you're going to look at the way it's framed and get to that version of reality. But it's not. It's being contaminated by editing the report. And also, you can see that she is prefacing the question with doubt, and her remarks, her tone is trying to ridicule the question. I think that's something we should very well notice when we see these types of commentary.
Okay, the Financial Times was quoting the Islamic Republic. Unbelievable.
Confirmed by Armin here.
Oh my God.
That she edited it out. Like the way she said it, she didn't put the quote. She just read it like if you skip that part, it's basically the same thing, but they took out the most important part where the information came from, right?
Yeah, they explicitly attributed those numbers to the regime claims and projections.
Well, there you go. It's confirmed. She's manipulating the data and presupposing the answer to the questions being asked are ridiculous or false. Like she's prefacing the answer to the question as she asks it.
So let me see if I could get that, because the actual experts in crowd, in crowd numbers and stuff like that, the number that I'm seeing being quoted the most is 350,000. That's the number that I'm seeing being.
That the Financial Times actually estimated?
No,
so
not the
did she hide that?
Not the Financial Times, but other places where people actually, instead of quoting the regime, bring in their own experts. I'm seeing numbers like 300,000, 350,000, numbers like that.
That's why when we say, like when Arminins say, when we say, look, maybe 500, we're being generous. Like we're being extremely generous, because like further analysis would actually put it down. But the fact is 500,000 would still be pathetic, right?
Yeah, it would be less. It would be around half at 1%. And also remember, and again, also guys, every time we say that, remember that they brought a lot of people from Iraq, from Pakistan, from Afghanistan. They also made it mandatory for government employees to show up. That's already a couple of 100,000 over there. And they also hand out food and other bonuses for people to show up.
And transportation. These people wouldn't come in their own cars.
Yes. And when the Iranian people did show up in the millions in the Lion and Sun Revolution, they came out while facing bullets. So imagine if you didn't give them food, and also if you didn't give the Iranian people bullets, then what do the crowd numbers would look like then? Anyways, let's continue with these idiots.
History. So, just a reminder, this was supposed to be a regime change war. This guy was assassinated on day one, and then Israel and the U.S. systematically went down the list of Iran's leadership from, those first strikes onward. Yet, like I said, 4 months later, here's this huge segment of the Iranian population out there mourning this leader in open defiance.
Huge segment, less than 1%. Less than 1%. Unbelievable.
Of Washington and Tel Aviv, while Western media does try to downplay it, with some skeptics I saw even insisting that the crowds were bussed in or coerced. So, let's start with this. What's the significance of these massive funeral processions, and what are they telling us that the regime change crowd doesn't want to hear?
So can I just start by what President Trump said, that he was shocked.
No, please.
He was shocked that anyone showed up, and he thought he was hated. And, this is just an extension. I mean, I kind of like the honesty, the very public,
Wait, so they think that the Iranian people love the supreme leader? Is that what these
she's shifting away
Americans
from the
think?
numbers. Like, she's shifting to Trump because people who watch her, probably her audience, her echo chamber, hates Trump. So she's shifting away from the number of people into saying, oh, Trump was surprised that anybody showed up. So now we're moving away from that number. Like, we accepted the number. We're putting that away from the conversation. You've already accepted this premise. So now let's move. It's part of the manipulation. You get them to accept something, then you move away from it because they don't want to talk about the number anymore.
Unbelievable.
portrayal of his honesty, and it's just an extension of how this whole war started. Well, the second war, because it started last year in June, and then they continued, or they revived the war this year, thinking that it's going to be a cakewalk and that we're going to come from the sky with our bombs, bomb schools full of children, hospitals, universities, and then somehow people are going to welcome that, rise up and overthrow this regime. And what we're seeing, these images, is the exact opposite. I mean, this is, of course, the caveat is this is not all of Iran. This is not 90 plus million people. So I want to have, us to maybe discuss this later, but I want to have room for, of course, opposition and dissent.
I mean, look at this. She's acting like she's being honest. This is not all of Iran. Yet this is less than 1% of Iran. Like, really, this is not all of Iran. This is not even a majority of Iran. This is nothing. This is a drop in a bucket.
And this thing where she's saying there's room for dissent, and like listen to what she just said. It's ridiculous.
Did she say there's room for dissent?
Go back a little bit. Listen to what she's saying.
Oh my God.
Hospitals, universities, and then somehow people are going to welcome that, rise up and overthrow this regime. And what we're seeing, these images, is the exact opposite. I mean, this is, of course, the caveat is this is not all of Iran. This is not 90 plus million people. So I want to have, us to maybe discuss this later, but I want to have room for, of course, opposition and dissent. But nevertheless,
okay, she's talking about the number.
Yeah.
Like, I heard her say opposition and dissent, and I'm like, what is she talking about? And she's like maybe walking back the number. Like, okay, I can understand that, because at some point you're gonna look ridiculous if you claim that as true. Like, people might fact check you on it, and this is why it's important to listen. I even started a comment about this. Like, why are we listening to these people? It's important to know their tactics, because sometimes these types of people, they indoctrinate and they put in an echo chamber good people that they then become poisoned into this line of thought because they're not having a diversity of opinion. So when you talk to someone and you're like, wow, this person is far gone, you have to know what was fed into their ears, what poison was fed into their ear that got them to that position, so you know what arguments are coming and you know how to combat them in a way that is perhaps fact-based and unemotional. These people are going to be very emotional, so you want to be very unemotional. You don't want to scream at them. You don't want to tell them they're stupid, because you're not going to get through that way. If you even care a little bit about, like, if you're just having a flame war in the chat, okay, fine. But if you actually want to get through to these people, you have to understand the source of their echo chamber. That's what I was trying to get at.
Right. By the way, guys, these are 3 Americans praising the Islamic Republic against the United States, right? This is what the enemy from within looks like. These people, like the Islamic Republic, who massacred tens of thousands of Iranians in a matter of hours, they are defending the Islamic Republic, and they're trying to whitewash it and defend its legitimacy and make it seem like the Islamic Republic is on the right side of history, and the United States, the country that they are a citizen of, is on the wrong side. They are defending US's enemy against the United States and against the Iranian people. This is the poison that you're dealing with. This is the enemy within that you're dealing with. This is the Trojan. This is with this. Your enemy is in the house. It's within your borders. It's not coming from the outside. It's coming from inside.
Another thing that I would point out is we don't know who's funding these people. We don't know if one of those billions of dollars that is going into NGOs from Qatar, billions of dollars that's coming from NGOs from Saudi, billions from China is funding this kind of podcast. Like when we say that there's influence operations, we say that maybe those NGOs, maybe Code Pink has a commercial with them, or has a little like, put your link up, like try to donate here, put this in your show, and we'll give you this many $1,000s. Just keep doing what you're doing. We love what you're doing. Love how you hate Trump. Love your TDS. Keep doing what you're doing. And my NGO is going to help promote itself on your podcast. And that's how they spread this message. You have to understand the influence operation. You have to understand the motivations. And you have to understand the messaging that is poisoning the minds of the people.
Yes. And look at this. This is somebody saying they are not Americans, or I mean, they are the enemy within, not Americans. They are Americans, and that's the problem. They are the enemy within because they're Americans, and you have to deal with the fact that they're American. That's what makes them more dangerous. If they were not American, it would be easier to deal with them. You could just deport them. The problem is that they are American, and if you say they're not American, then you're underestimating your enemy. Part of the reason why your enemy is dangerous is because they poison the mind of Americans against America. So yeah, unfortunately, they are Americans, and you have to. If you deny that, then you're underestimating how big of a deal this is. Yeah, and also
Absolutely.
Texas is saying, Texas, there is someone in the chat claiming the U.S. killed. This guy is saying, "Oh, why the U.S. killed 168 students in my town?" Yeah, that's the fault of the Islamic Republic. The Islamic Republic waged war against the United States 47 years ago. The United States is defending itself against its enemies, and within every war, there are going to be collateral damage. You need to be congratulating. I congratulate the United States for actually achieving the lowest amount of collateral damage in a war at this scale. They broke a record. The record belonged to Israel before Operation Epic Fury. I mean, actually, now this one, the record belongs to both United States and Israel because this was a joint operation. But Operation Epic Fury and Roaring Lion was a record low amount of collateral damage in a war at this scale.
What about the 50,000 Iranians killed? You don't care about them? I bet there was kids in there.
Yeah, but nobody has done more than United States and Israel to reduce the civilian casualties. Nobody. And it shows in the numbers. It's so low compared to every single other military operation at this level. So if you want to actually look at the number of innocent civilians who died in the 40-day war, that's going to look so good for how much the Americans and Israelis care about innocent civilians. That's going to make them look better, not worse.
I'm just putting it out there. Like, you are addressing the central point, which is important to address the central point. We don't want to what about this issue, but it does show the hypocrisy that you care about 168 that serves your cause, right? But you don't care about 50,000 or more. I think it's a lot more that were admittedly killed by the regime. Like you have to like you can't say you care about the children in your nation, right? And you don't care about all the children killed among these protesters, because many of them were very, very young, and that's been proven. That's been shown. That's even shown on some of the videos that we've seen. We've seen X-rays of the like where they use shotguns with birdshot so that people get injured and have to go to the hospital. Birdshot is like when you put a whole bunch of pellets behind a shotgun shell. This is very damaging, and you have to get this out of your body. The only way to do this is to get to a hospital, and then they would go to the hospital. So people who complain about war crimes, why aren't you complaining about that? You're not supposed to shoot people in the hospital. Like these are very hypocritical statements by people that want to use our morals against us. They don't have any morals, but they know your morals are your weakness, so they will attack that. Don't accept these false equivalencies, these moral arguments from immoral people.
Whoever died at that school, their blood is on Islamic Republic's hand. They brought war to our country by declaring war against United States and Israel. They waged war against United States and Israel, and publicly announced that you're hell-bent on their annihilation. What did you think will happen? You brought war to our land by declaring war against powerful countries that are way more powerful than you, and you brought death. You brought death to our land by declaring war against countries that were not even aggressive towards you. Anyways, let's continue.
This is a huge
Absolutely right. I'm
political
sorry.
Yeah, okay.
People, so I want to have us to maybe discuss this later, but I want to have room for, of course, opposition and dissent, but nevertheless, these are real people. This is a huge political and religious ceremony that's going beyond Iran's borders. It's also going to move to Iraq, to large Shia communities there. Ayatollah Khamenei wasn't just a political figure. He was also a religious leader for many in the Shia world, or at least with respect. And this is sending multiple messages of defiance to an enemy, to two enemies who tried to essentially end this system by assassinating its top leader and his family, members of his family, including a child. It's sending a message of defiance.
Yeah, including a child. Why did he have the child with him there? They keep telling us that he knew that the Israelis are going to attack him. Then why did he put a child right next to him? If he was in a bunker all the time when he came out, then why did he have a child next to him? Why did he invite all of the IRGC leaders into the same area for them to get assassinated? Like, I don't understand. Do you want to mention that? Do you want to mention that the supreme leader, right in the middle of everybody talking about the idea that he's going to get assassinated anytime soon, he had his grandchild next to him at the time of the explosion?
Resilience. Look, we're still standing. Look, we're still popular. And also continuity, that not only did the regime not fall, not change, it's
also what are you like? What are the Americans and Israelis are supposed to do? Like, oh, he had a child next to him. Okay, so just allow tens of thousands of more people to die by trying to save that one child. How many children would have to die because of these people continuing to live? That child was an innocent civilian. That it's a tragedy that child died. The thing when you make decisions, when you make decisions, there are no options on the table where no civilians die. That these people act like anybody in war and in politics. They act like when people make decisions, when some civilians die, they come and pretend that there was an option where no civilians die. And these politicians and these military men are evil because they didn't go with that option. They picked an option where civilians do die. That's a lie. There is no option where no civilians die. There's only options where more civilians die and options where less civilians die. The challenge is how to find the option where less civilians die. The option with zero civilian death does not exist.
I absolutely reject the premise. The premise is that these people care about children. They do not care about children. They dress up their children with black clothes and green bandanas so they could be sacrificed for jihad. They send, I think we're not going to show the video, but you showed that in the war, they would send these children to go into minefields. They have never cared about children. You are trying to use our morality against us. You're just using words that you think will affect Americans' children. Americans care about children. Let me use the word children. That is why you keep using the word children over and over. I reject the premise that you care at all. You're a propagandist using children as a propaganda tool, just like your leaders used to use children to clear minefields. You're trying to clear a political minefield by sacrificing children, just like your previous leaders used to sacrifice children to minefields. You don't care. I know you don't care, and I will not allow you to use the morals of the Americans against us. You don't care. I know you don't care. Fuck off.
True.
And his family, members of his family, including a child. It's sending a message of defiance, resilience. Look, we're still standing. Look, we're still popular. And also continuity that, not only did the regime not fall, not change, it's continuing. We put the house back together. There's a successor. The country.
You know what's interesting? How free America is, because they are Americans in America praising the Islamic Republic against the United States, and nobody can do anything about it. They're free to do that, and they're praising a regime where they would not allow the same thing in Iran. The Islamic Republic that they're praising would not allow a podcast like this in Iran praising. Imagine if we had 3 people in Iran with a podcast like this, publicly going on YouTube saying, yeah, President Trump is amazing. He did this and that, and we love him for it. And the Islamic Republic is this, like all the negative things about the Islamic Republic, and praising President Trump. Imagine if we had this in Iran. So they're praising a regime that would not allow the equivalent of what they have in Iran, and they're attacking the United States that is giving them the freedom to attack the United States and praise United States enemy. That's how free the United States is.
Look, even among the allies, there's no freer place. You're not freer in UK. You're not freer anywhere in Germany and Netherlands. You're not freer anywhere in Europe. You're not freer anywhere in Latin America. You're not freer anywhere in Asia. There is no place on earth that you are freer than here.
Yeah. We got another super chat. I will read it soon after this is over.
Is running, and look at this huge, massive event that they planned. It also is a departure from religious tradition, because in Islamic tradition you bury your dead as soon as possible. So this is very, very unusual that it took months because of the circumstances, because of safety, security concerns.
Yeah, she's right about that. It was not just a departure from Islamic tradition. It was humiliating. It was humiliating that they couldn't bury him. Like, this is a very important thing with their traditions, and the fact that he was not buried for so long has been embarrassing.
Wartime, they couldn't plan this earlier, but then they planned it in the month of Muharram, which is the month of mourning for the Shias, and it itself has so many religious connotations. They're adding layers.
Yeah, that was actually bad planning, because many Iranians use that as an opportunity to use the Muharram. And remembering, Muharram is the month that you remember cruelty, and the Iranian people basically took that as a way to remember what happened in January when the Islamic Republic slaughtered the Iranian people.
There's to it, victimhood, martyrdom, and it's just made it even more significant in all of these different ways. So it's a state.
Yes, it also backfired, because many pro-regime Iranians use Muharram as a way to show that you're not abiding by the principle of Shia Islam. So both the anti-regime people use Muharram to bring more attention to how cruel the Islamic Republic has been to the Iranian people in January. And the pro-regime Iranians use it as a way to show how the regime is not abiding by their principles, the Islamic principles of Hussein.
Choreographed event, of course. It's the most important political event since the funeral of the first supreme leader, Ayatollah Khomeini. which was also massive back then. But
this is nothing compared to that. This is nothing compared to what that was.
it has so many other layers of messaging because Ayatollah Khamenei wasn't assassinated in a war by Iran's top enemies. And so this one has many other messages, and naturally so many people showed up. And people, can be in this event for many different reasons. It can be political, it can be religious. It's a big state event.
It could be for eggs. Why didn't you say that? It could be for eggs because they hand out eggs. They hand out food, they hand out money. They also reduce your prison sentence if you show up. It could be for not losing your job because many government employees were threatened that they need to show up or lose their job. It could be because you're from a different country and the Islamic Republic is paying you to come in from Iraq, from Pakistan, from Afghanistan.
I had a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I saw someone in the chat, I think it was a person from X, asking, talking about some cards, like they have like a prepaid card with some balance on it. Is this something you've also seen, that they're handing out these cards with a balance on it? So this is basically
balance,
just almost cash.
It's cards with a grocery store. There's a specific grocery store that you could go buy stuff. So in Iran, some grocery stores it's like gift cards, right? You know how you go buy Starbucks gift cards? So certain grocery stores, big chain grocery stores in Iran, they have cards with balance on it that you could go spend at that grocery store. So I saw at these events they were handing out these cards with some balance on it that you could go shop at the grocery store. They had that.
I appreciate people on X pointing that out. I wasn't well aware of how that worked. It's kind of like an EBT card, but just for one specific brand. Like if we're making fun of them with the EBT stuff, but I understand that that is specific gift card. You could probably buy it.
It's like a Walmart. It's like a Walmart gift card. That's what it is. Walmart gift card. Something.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yes. Yes, like a gift card. People are saying. Yeah, they were handing those as well. They were also handing out life insurance to people who show up. This was an official government statement that people would get life insurance.
Was it during the duration of the event, or is it like a year of life insurance? How does that work? That's
I
weird.
don't know. I don't know how much coverage they get, but they were saying like some people who show up, some people would get life insurance. The government, I don't know if they actually got it. They gave it, but they did promise it. I wouldn't be surprised if nobody got any, but they did promise it.
Like the way I would do it, like if I was like, "Oh my God, this is so dangerous! You're such a patriot. You're such a good Durka. You're such a good sad penguin. That if we all get killed in strikes, that you're going to be insured. We're going to give you insurance to your family. If you're so patriotic, if you're such a good Durka that you show up and you're dying, well, we knew that you're not a life lover, but we're going to take care of the lives of your remaining family." Like maybe it was just during the event. I'm just guessing.
No, so Texas is saying life insurance. That's comforting. This is actually funny because many Iranians were saying, like, why are they giving out life insurance? Are they expecting something to happen at the funeral? Like, this is kind of scary. Like, maybe people will not show up because they're like, why are you handing out? What do you think is going to happen? Right. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, some people did get assassinated. We predicted that as well, and it happened, right? Anyways, we got some super chats. Justin with a super chat saying, I know it's off topic, but I just wanted to thank you, Armin, for telling us about Night of Al-Zud. I got into a free debate with the Durka, and it was hilarious watching him glitch out after I said that. Wow. Wow, yeah, that's good ammunition, huh? Oh my God. Oh yeah, guys, if you're debating a Muslim, there's so much hadith that you could just quote that would just take them out because they have no idea how to defend them. Guys, the Quran is like only this big. The hadith, which is a major part of Islamic scripture, which most of Islamic teaching comes, you could fill entire libraries with it. And it just provides so much ammunition for you to completely destroy somebody in a debate, like in a debate with a Muslim over Islam. Oh my God, it's embarrassing. I wouldn't want to be a Muslim who has to defend the hadith. That's why some Muslims. Yeah, go on.
Have you heard of Raymond Ibrahim? He's like a
yes.
Muslim scholar. He is he used to work for I think he used to work for the State Department. He's definitely a Muslim scholar, and he did an excellent video. One of the ones that started this whole thing about the Night of Al-Sud. I was wondering if I could put that link in the chat because it is a great weapon to use, and it explains with the hadith. It explains, he goes step by step and puts everything in there. And I would just wanted to put that in the chat for the people so they could see the specific video that points out all the source material on it. Kind of put it on there for the people. This is excellent source material. This guy's he's an Arabic speaker. He speaks of various languages, and he has studied the material at an academic level. Like, I think, and if you haven't seen this guy is excellent. He's kind of like on our side of the fight against Islam, and I think he's just an excellent source.
So I was talking. So Justin was saying about the Al-Zud hadith, the Night of Al-Zud, and Sarah is saying, I don't know what Al-Zud is. Sarah, you don't know what Al-Zud is? And she's saying, what the F is the hadith? My sweet summer child. Should I? Oh my God, I don't know if you want to know. Do you want to know? Should I tell her? I don't know.
I think we should. I mean, you can't just tease the people. Now we're teasing them. They gotta know now.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a short version of it, Sarah. Okay, a very short version of it. Okay, there is a hadith in Islam, which is hadith, guys, is Islamic scripture that tells about the story. Yes, she's saying, enlighten me, please. Okay. I'll give you a quick summary of it. Okay. So Muhammad and his companion went to the desert, somewhere in the desert, and Muhammad told his companion, this is the hadith. Okay. Muhammad told his companion that I'm going to draw a circle around you. And whatever you do not leave this circle. And the guy was like, okay. And then Muhammad was outside of the circle. He was inside the circle. Okay, that his friend was inside the circle. And like, just don't leave the circle. So Muhammad, and then they spent there at night. The friend was inside the circle. He was outside, and then a couple of jinns who look like tall black men showed up, and they pounded Muhammad all night, pounded Muhammad. And yes, it means exactly what you think it means, right? They went at him from behind, and his friend was in the circle and looking at this, and he was terrified. And it specifically says, while Muhammad was being pounded, okay, I don't know if I should explain, he was reciting the Quran. He was reciting the Quran all night while these tall black men were having their way with him all night. And it says they went on all night, right? Yes, exactly. Okay. And then his friend was like, oh my God, I was watching this and I was terrified. Like, why are they graping Muhammad? Okay. And then all night they did that to him while he was reciting the Quran. And then they left. And then Muhammad came to his friend and he put his head on his lap and he said, I'm in so much pain. And he was in pain. And then some other stuff happened after. But that was the most important part. Pounded from behind. Yes. Is there any way, Sarah? Was that clarifying? Monkey, did I miss anything?
There is some reasoning that at that time it was thought that if virile men, put their seed
that's your
into
theory. If you don't, that's your addition to this. That's your
okay. So there's some reasoning that would give you the same virility. So because he wanted to be very virile, he had these black men known for their prowess in these things to do that to him. I think this is a very, very bad way. Should have waited for that blue pill to come along.
Okay, so that's Monkey's interpretation. I don't think that's what's happening here. Okay, that's a other culture.
Okay, he might just really like it. He might just really, really.
I think somebody just was like, okay. So if you look at the history of Islam, this is people's sexual. They put their fantasies there, right? But anyways, this is officially Islamic scripture. Yes. So when we say somebody was al-zuted, we're basically talking about this. And they were very specific. And the reason why they called it, so these people, these were not human, they were jinn, but they said they look like the people of Al-Zut, which means that they look from this tribe from Africa or India, and they were basically black and tall. It means very specific about the
There's
tribe
other
that
descriptors to the Al-Zut, but we won't get into the specific of the descriptors of the Al-Zut. You can look that up. It has reached some areas of the popularization where people can't use words, like people say grape instead of rape, right? Like we've said it here before. But people that like to replace on other platforms are starting to say Al-Zuted or Zooted instead of the word. So it's reached popular culture, and it's even in the Urban Dictionary now. And you know what? It's fine that it be popularized. I'm okay with that.
Right. Yeah, and okay, so Sarah is saying, why is this even a scripture in Islam, which is very anti-gay? Okay, well, it doesn't endorse it. It doesn't say it's a good thing. It says this is a bad thing that happened to Muhammad. He was this is a sacrifice. I don't know why he did that, because after it, so after these jinn that did this to him, they were evil. Okay, they were evil. That's why that's why it says they were black. Because right after it, these angels show up. Again, I'm not racist, okay? I'm just saying these angels show up that they were like white and shiny, right? So the jinns who are doing this to Muhammad, they were evil. Hence the again, I'm not being racist. Hence the black color. So it's not endorsing this. This is a bad thing that happened. Like he was in pain. He said, "I'm in pain."
I have a
so no,
question.
there's no endorsement. Yes.
So it does the Quran say that you should live the kind of life Muhammad lived? Do they say that? Should
Say that
we
again?
follow his
Oh.
example? Is it said like people, like generally? I'm not being specific to any one tenet of the Quran, any one
Right.
ideology, Shia, Sunni. Is it generally thought that Muhammad was exemplary and you should follow in his example?
Yes, but how are you gonna get but again, here, like, this is something that only Muhammad could do, so I don't know if you could do that. Like, these are jinns, these were not humans.
Look, I suggest you do not search in YouTube in Google for people that
Oh my
could do
God.
this kind of thing. Don't do it.
No,
Maybe people
don't-
could do this. I would recommend you not check.
Yes. I mean, okay. Where are we? Okay, let's move on from this. What happened. Okay, thank you, Sarah, for the question, and thank you, Justin, for opening this can of worms. There's a lot more there. Like, there's a lot more embarrassing hadiths in Islam. We could do a hadith. We could have a hadith night one day. Just go over the most ridiculous hadiths. And then we have Omid. Thank you, Omid. Thank you for the super chat, saying, who is this Vatan Farouche? She's 100% IRGC linked. Yes, her name is Negar Mortazavi, the one that we were showing. I think it's the one in the middle. This one in the middle. Negar Mortazavi. She's a sellout. Yeah, she's a sellout. She has betrayed the Iranian people, and she's in with the progressive left, the anti-imperialists, basically. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's IRGC linked. And Omid with another super chat saying, I have written a hadith sermon. Where can I go to get it authorized as official Islamic text? Well, I mean, you can't write a hadith because hadith should either be written by the Sahaba, the companions of Muhammad at the time. But you could write a fatwa, and then maybe you could get it authorized by Al-Zahra University in Egypt. Is it a Sunni? Are you going to be a Sunni fatwa, doing a Sunni fatwa, or a Shia one? If you're doing Sunni, the best place to get it authorized is in Al-Zahra University, but you first need to become a mujtahid, and then an ayatollah, and maybe then a grand ayatollah, if you want it to be serious. If you're Shia, for Sunni, you need to become an Islamic scholar. And then for that, the highest authority would be Al-Zahra University in Egypt. If you want to go the Shia route, you need to go to, depending on whether you are Velayat Faqih version or non-Velayat Faqih version, the highest authority would be Qom in the Velayat Faqih version and Najaf in Iraq for the non-Velayat Faqih version. Hope
So
that
just
helps.
to clarify, what is a fatwa?
A fatwa is like a religious ruling.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
the
it's
official
not
religious ruling.
chat. This is not an overweight Italian American. Okay.
Okay. Oh, look at this. Somebody's impressing. I'm strangely impressed, Armin. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. So people are.
I started a comment over there if you want to check it out.
A what?
I starred one of the comments.
Oh, comments. Okay. Noli is really look at the compliments I'm getting. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Oh, I'm scared to know more.
We all are. We all are.
Well, thank you, sir. Okay, okay. Well, you started it. You started it. It's your fault. And thank you, Omid, and yeah, thank you, everybody. Okay, I think we're good. I think we covered as much as we could today. Let's end it right here. And yeah, guys, we're gonna have do our discussion group. I already mentioned to you guys about Monkey's channel. Let's see if Monkey got. But before we do that, let me actually show you where me and Monkey are gonna go next. Me and the monkey, we're gonna go to our discussion group.
Oh my God!
Today is
They did it. They
Today
did it.
They did what? What happened?
I love you guys. I love you guys. Mwah, monkey kiss, monkey hugs, hairy monkey hugs, and wet monkey kisses for everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, I'm gonna stop promoting you if you keep giving us wet monkey kisses. Okay.
Okay, I'll only do it on my channel then.
Okay. Okay, he got to 560. Thank you guys. Thank you for getting the monkey to 560. Me and Monkey will be in our discussion group in about an hour. So either join our discussion group or go to Liberty Politics YouTube channel and subscribe over there, because we're going to be live streaming it over there on Liberty Politics. When you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell notification and then select all, because when we go live, it needs to tell you. It wouldn't tell you if you don't select all. So don't just subscribe, hit the bell notification and select all. And also this stream right now that you're watching, wherever you're watching it, please like it and subscribe to the channel or follow wherever you're watching it. And yeah, that's us. We'll see you guys in about an hour after we're gone in the discussion group or live on Liberty Politics. Anything you want to add, Monkey?
I just want to give a shout out and thanks to the chat. And I want to, just let everybody out there that is a fan of me to know that the person that motivated me towards all this, he feels uncomfortable. This is a very humble man that doesn't like praise. So I got to force it on him, right? A little bit. But I really want to thank Armin for making all this possible. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't mind praises. I just don't want wet monkey kisses.
All right. I'll stop.
And thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, guys. So we're going to go and see you guys pretty soon. And until then, Slava Ukrainian, Cuba Libre, Long live America, Javicha, Payande,
Iran.
See you guys soon.